boy. Oh boy. There we go. Now we are on the right thing. There we go. Now we are on. Hello everyone. Welcome to the LBLCS. Today we have an exciting semifinal game between Glue Eaters and Titan Gaming. I am going to quickly double check to make sure that I have the names on the right side. Is Glue Eaters blue side?
Glue Eaters, I think, took red side.
Took red? Okay.
Yeah, Glue Eaters is red side.
I will switch this around real quick then. Okay. We should have the right teams on the right side now.
Great. Let me give you the spectate link.
Yes. Por favor.
I'm just gonna message you in League. Where are you?
Should be towards the bottom.
I know how to spell here.
There we go. Grab that link.
Great.
Head on over to the... Oh, didn't open. Weird.
All right. Getting started. Hello, everyone. Teams are saying... Oh, they're asking us. Be ready. Get it poppin'. Okay. Jumping into draft.
Gangplank coming out.
Yeah, makes sense. Arthur Dent, top laner for Glue Eaters, is in the power rankings of CEO League, the number one top laner, if not one of the higher power ranked players in general in the CEO League. So it makes sense to ban Gangplank, a champion he's quite good at. Arthur Dent, the top laner for the Glue Eaters, like I said before, plays a lot of carry top laners. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some preventative measures around that. But it looks like they're going to follow up with an Ezreal and a Vel'Koz ban.
A lot of poke
Nidalee
champions getting banned here between Nidalee, Twisted Fate, Ezreal, and Vel'Koz.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I actually don't think I've seen any Titan Gaming games this split. I've seen some VODs, but I haven't actually cast or watched any, so I'm excited to see them. Glue Eaters, Titan Gaming, I'm not sure what seed they finished. I want to say 4th. Glue Eaters finished first in the league, so they did get a bye until the semifinals, and they got to pick their own. They got to pick who they face. So Titan Gaming won the quarterfinals, and Glue Eaters chose them over Solar Flare for the semis. Solar Flare, of course, after yesterday, is making it to the finals. So the winner of this match will be playing against Solar Flare next weekend for all the CEO marbles. That Kha'Zix cannot be right. Let me check what it's supposed to be, which is Olaf. But Olaf and...
Wait, Olaf was the second pick, though. What?
Olaf, Caitlyn.
Caitlyn, gotcha.
Okay. So Graves, first pick blue side, makes sense. Graves is a super strong jungler at the moment. And then they follow up the Glue Eaters with their first rotation, Caitlyn Olaf. Olaf, a jungler that's decent into Graves, can sort of invade his jungle and try to mess up him, who likes to power farm quite a bit. Then Set coming in for Titan Gaming.
Strong disengage pick. Also just a crazy strong pick. Flexible into different lanes and jungles. Very powerful pick coming out.
Yeah, Set is not necessarily top lane. The Graves means he probably can't flex jungle, but could still flex support.
True.
Which is we've seen some Set supports. It's not terrible.
Could go
followed with the Varus. Yeah, could go mid.
Send the Graves mid with Leandries.
True. I do think the Set is top lane though, as Varus probably not gonna be. I think Varus Set is kind of a weird 2v2 lane.
That's fair.
So the Glue Eaters round out their bot lane with Morgana, Caitlyn Morg. Great traditional lane. Has a lot of CC. Morg hits a Q, or Caitlyn hits a trap. You layer the CC right, that's quite a bit of damage, if not your entire health pool outright. So a nice strong 2v2 there.
Yeah, heavy engaged champions are the ones that we're seeing getting banned out. It makes sense. Both of these teams so far looks like they're going for more scrappy, just get in your face, blow you up kind of thing. And, these strong in-Jades champions and Diana, Lissandra, and Camille really would
Yeah.
just, both sides would love to have them or hate to see them on the other side. Zoe coming out.
Yeah. So I wonder, and the Zoe band, a Happy Cloud mid laner for the Glue Eaters, plays quite a bit of Zoe. So a nice band. Always an annoying champion to deal with. Zoe is. Set mid too. Yeah, I do know the Happy Cloud plays set mid, so that it could be a pick away from
Ooh, the Kog'Maw.
them.
That's a
I
Kog'Maw
suppose.
mid.
Yeah, that
AP?
Kog'Maw is definitely mid, and it will be going AP. AP Kog'Maw just recently buffed.
Yeah, it's super strong now. That's actually something I'm very excited to see now. See how that gets played.
Yeah, they
Zyra, there's the support pick coming in. Probably. 3 seconds left. Yep, there it is. Makes sense. Lock you up. Varus, Zyra, able to really just kind of dominate a bottom lane. Super powerful duo right there. Galio coming in for the final pick here for Titan Gaming. Able to have presence all over the map, especially whenever he's playing mid. Able to come in, assist, start fights with assist in starting fights with Titan Gaming. And then Wukong coming in, a very strong engaged champion there. Very exciting team fighting comps from both of these teams.
excited to see Arthur Dent on the Wukong. I think there's a chance that like you said, is an exciting pick. I'm also excited to see this Kog'Maw mid, just like you are. I mean, Kog'Maw mid is, like I said before, recently buffed. So we're seeing a little bit more of it in solo queue and even in professional play. Two varying states of success. So we'll see how Happy Cloud navigates that champion in the mid lane. I believe 2 weeks ago, Caps played Kog'Maw mid in the LEC, and that game he had the 4th highest damage per minute of any player in the LEC of all time.
Oh wow!
Something insane like 1600. Let me look it up. Caps DPM Kog'Maw mid. It was like I think almost 2K.
That's crazy. Oh my goodness.
No, it was 1477 damage per minute,
Oh, wow.
which is
I mean, that's
the
still
4th highest.
That's still
That's insane. To be
amount.
doing almost 1500 damage every minute, is crazy. So Happy Cloud has some work ahead of him to set up that
for sure. And looking at these comps, I would say, win condition for both of these teams is to start a fight, right? Whoever starts the fight probably is going to be winning the fight, I would say, personally. So definitely going to have to be looking out for which team is setting up around whatever objectives they're going to be going for, whether it's Dragon, Herald. I would imagine, you'd want to be going for Dragons, as both these teams, as Dragons just crazy strong in general. You get to, your 4th Dragon, and it's just basically over.
Yeah. It was interesting. It was talked about on Cast a little bit earlier. If anyone was watching the Executive League semifinals before, talking about how Riot added these dragons and Dragon Soul as a way for early game teams to create some sort of tangible advantage. Where if you play the early game correctly, you can still hold your own against a later scaling team if you do the early game really, really well. So whoever has Dragon control is going to have a pretty nice advantage for themselves, because I think... Well, actually, I don't know what team scales a little bit better here.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. I think I have to give it to Glue Eaters, just because Kog'Maw scaling.
Kog'Maw mid,
Yeah, that's just... And, Caitlyn's a decently scaling champion. And I
Yeah,
don't really see anyone on the side of Titan Gaming really matching the Kog'Maw and just raw like 6 item damage, even 5 item damage.
yeah, yeah. The same Kog'Maw, and like example says in the chat, like Kog'Maw scales insanely well, and he says Wukong also scales insanely well. I think Wukong is a little bit. I mean, they're both fairly punishable champions, but I think Kog'Maw just
Yeah.
scales so well. Um, whereas Titan Gaming doesn't have huge scaling. Um, so we'll see. I think if the game goes fairly late, I'd say Glue Eaters has kind of an advantage, and they are one of the faster teams in CEO, I believe. They are a team that like to snowball and accelerate the game, and I think having an Olaf and Caitlyn Morgan is really good for that. Gives a lot of priority, and then they also scare really well here. So I think in terms of the way that they play, they yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Although, not necessarily, not although, that's Portrait's words. On Titan Gaming's side, looking at the comp more, they have a pretty good 1-3-1, I would say. You know, you toss Galio in the bot lane, you toss Set in the top lane, you switch them around wherever, and you keep the three in the middle just clearing waves. And,
Mhm.
you know, Galio with his ult able to just kind of come in from anywhere on the map and really just turn a fight, especially since I believe they gave him his resistances back on his ult, so whoever he ults gets the resistances. I don't
It's
know.
it's not it's a magic shield.
It's a magic shield. Okay.
So yeah, so his I believe it's his W. Although if someone you don't know is watching this, you can correct me because he is the resident Galio main. I believe it's his W, but one of his abilities has a passive magic shield on it. And he transfers that shield onto whoever he ults. He gives them a magic shield.
Okay.
So it's decent into Kog'Maw, but actually, it's not super helpful into Wukong, Olaf, or Caitlyn.
Yeah.
So an interesting. I will say though that Galio is probably a pretty good lane counter to Kog'Maw, as he has one of the hardest pushing lanes early on, and Kog'Maw doesn't have the greatest wave clear until he gets some AP under his belt. So Galio's going to have a lot of priority with his Graves for the first few levels, at least for the first back, I'd say. But again, that can be kind of risky because Olaf is prone to ganking early. If the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as we have a minute and a half until we actually get into the game, are we expecting any level 1s here? I mean, on both sides, they have some pretty decent level 1 damage in CC, so...
Yeah, I think that CC is what you want to look for when you think about level 1s, like you just said. And I think both teams have decent early CC. Now, Morgana's support is probably going to start Q anyway, unless they really want to push the wave, and I don't think they do. So I think the Glue Eaters have a good invade. Zyra, on the other hand, to get her CC, would start E, which is not necessarily what she wants to start in lane. So I think Glue Eaters has the advantage in that their level 1 is good because champions on their team for an invade or for just a regular game start the same ability. So you're not going to fall behind by, starting an ability that you might not normally start just for the invade or level 1 to kill. So I think Glue Eaters has a little bit of an advantage there, whereas on the side of Titan Gaming, Zyra would have to level a weird ability, Galio would have to level a weird ability.
True.
So
Yeah, so...
yeah.
We'll keep an eye out for that. We got 22 seconds. So now, the most important question of all is, what skins are we going to have to be looking out for here? I'm personally a fan of pretty much any Kog'Maw skin, so I'll be excited to see. Pugmaw, personally, my favorite Kog'Maw skin there. But honestly, most of these other champions, I'm not too well versed in their skins. But we'll be seeing them now as we load in.
I am excited. It's my favorite part of the game.
Oh boy. One big black screen. Oh man, we got some good skins. I'm not gonna lie. Oh my goodness. Happy Cloud's got the new one. He's got the new
Ooh,
Kog'Maw
so
skin.
I love that skin.
It's so
Arcanist
cute.
Kog'Maw is cute as hell. I think Kog'Maw has some of the cuter skins.
Yeah.
I also think it's really funny to see Wukong and Olaf have very similar expressions on their face. Caitlyn is very determined. Morgana also quite angry. And Arcanist Kog'Maw is just like, hey, I bet I could eat that flower.
Yeah, it's like, ooh.
Actually, all the champions of the game are pretty intense. And then you just have that Kog'Maw. So really nice pickup there. Set with the no skin.
That's kind of a flex.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I don't need
I mean, he does have level 7.
Does he? Oh,
So-
wow. Okay. So, yeah, that's an absolute flex right there. Just like, you know, I don't need a skin to style on you, General Wukong. Arthur Dent.
Arthur Dent.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, love the Arthur. I've always loved Arthur Dent's name. An excellent reference since he joined the league. Fantastic stuff.
Is that a
Titan is interesting as Titan does not play for Titan Gaming. He plays for Glue Eaters. Don't get it twisted.
I'm glad you said something because I definitely would have made a mistake there.
Yeah. Ev Dingus is the only player in this league that matters. That's actually true. That's correct. Bikini Republic, you're actually right about that. I don't think anyone's really going to push back too much on that statement that you made.
We're seeing a slightly longer loading time than
Yeah, they're just really making sure everything is working properly. Dotting their I's, crossing their T's. Both mid laners with no mastery flare on their champions, whereas everyone else has at least 6 or 7. I lied. Arthur Dent is level 5. Okay. But that's interesting.
Yeah,
Let's see if Chad can guess who has the highest mastery points in the game.
Ooh, yeah, that's a nice game. All right, chat, place your bets. You have a hint. The mid laners are not going to be them.
Yeah. It's not the mid laners. Who do you think is the highest mastery points on their champion in the game? If you're right, I will shout you out. If you're wrong, oh god damn it. Are you in the game? It's Caitlyn.
I am
Who
not
is
in the
Bikini
game.
Republic? No, I'm talking to Bikini Republic. Who is Bikini Republic? Who are you? Well, you're right. Bikini Republic, I looked at your message history because I wanted to see if I knew who you were. And your 2 messages this year were Ev Dingus is the only player in this league that matters, and then Kate. And then almost a year ago, in November of 2019, you said $5,000 on Daddy's Buckaroos, which was a Season 1 team. So real longevity there. Good on you.
Oh my god, he has a book strapped to
Welcome
his back.
back, I guess.
All right, we're seeing we're seeing a standard start here. Kog'Maw looking adorable. He's going to be something I'm going to be talking about all game, so apologies if you don't want to hear about him, but he's just the most adorable thing in the League universe.
In the League universe.
In the Leagueiverse.
What is it just Runeterra? You just people call it Runeterra? So let's take a good look at this. Let's take a good look at this Kog'Maw skin
Wait,
here.
what? It's such a cool back animation from that Olaf.
So this Kog'Maw is just cute as hell. I can't get over how cute.
Set's
I like
coming
the
in
little
check
book.
to try. Oh, nice. Titan Gaming winning the auto trade top lane, getting an extra one in. Basically game over at this point, but we'll see if they can turn it around.
I think that's it. I honestly don't think they can.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll cast as if it's possible, just so people don't get really bored.
Yeah, we'll pretend. We'll put on a show for the folks.
Yeah. Kog'Maw with the first CS in the game. Good work.
Oh.
Huge advantage there.
That is
Took the
actually a
Ghost,
huge turnaround.
which is interesting.
Yeah, but as we see here, if my camera will focus on a lane for a second, I'm pretty sure, as you said earlier, Galio has a strong push in the early game, and we're already seeing that happen.
Yeah, if you angle Galio in the right spot in the lane and you throw your Q, you actually hit all 5 minions, and then his auto attack does a huge AoE, and then you just start punching till they're all dead. And it's really hard for champions to match you on that push. Happy Cloud doing a nice job just autoing back, but it's not going to stop the wave from getting to that tower.
Yeah, and there it is, already under the tower. We see top lane also pushing in for Titan Gaming here.
Which can be a little risky. I mean, Olaf's probably going to want to do a full clear just because it's such a fast clear on that champion. He does go kind of low on that clear, but they do know he's pathing up, and for the solo lanes of Titan Gaming to feel so comfortable just shoving up.
Ooh, some nice damage going on in the bot lane.
Nice.
Nice damage going on in the mid
play
lane.
from Acid Step, I suppose, but it doesn't really work out in that trade. Kog'Maw, despite being a scaling champion, actually does some surprising damage early on in the game when their W is up. And Acid Step not really respecting that and just sort of blind pushing and then trying to go for a cute little taunt, but actually losing out on that trade.
Yeah, we see Titan coming up here into the top try here, looking to try and gank Titan Gaming here. Nope, looking to take the Scuttler.
No, taking that Scuttle. So both junglers just sort of trading Scuttlers.
Yeah, that's fair. Like a gentleman's
Pretty
agreement.
standard path. Yeah. Olaf does have an extra camp over the Graves, but both junglers know that mid lane is where this is going down.
They're
so
both
they are
just in the
meeting
way.
up here. I don't think
Seeing
anything's
some
gonna happen.
damage going on in the top lane, but
Yeah, Titan
gets
sees-
spot out. The taunt comes out, ghost pop by the Kog'Maw.
Yeah, Ghost misses, and Kog'Maw's actually going to push this a little bit because with the Galio taunt down, can't be threatened by these champions, so pushes his lead a little bit there and gets a nice trade. And is going to feel comfortable shoving this lane in. He actually, if he can crash this cannon wave, can get an early recall off, which is going to feel pretty nice into Galio, and it might mitigate some of the... But here we see Graves reganking mid on the minimap, which is kind of nice, helping relieve that pressure that had just gone over.
Yeah, forcing Kog'Maw to back. Graves going in for a little bit of a cheeky, grabbing some chickens away from his, Olaf there.
I mean, that's pretty nice for Graves. It's interesting to see this jungle matchup, and I don't know anything about jungle matchups. At this level of play, even at my level of play, I don't know a lot of things about jungle matchups as I don't play jungle. But I know that there is. Oh, we have a fight going here.
We've seen a big fight going on here in the top lane. Wukong able to get out the first blood.
Yeah, I thought at one point someone was gonna pull off, and then they just kept fighting. And oh no, for Flak Pack, as Arthur Dent gets first blood, the Titan of the top lane. Not to be confused with Titan, who is the jungler, or Titan, who is all 5 people on blue side, gets first blood.
Too many Titans in this game, man.
Too many Titans. But I think Graves and Olaf is almost... I don't know enough to tell you any details about it, but I know enough to tell you it's definitely an interesting jungle matchup because they both are pretty strong farmers. Oh, what? Oh.
Get a pause, which is, you know...
Very quick... I don't even see the pause screen. Is the game just frozen for you?
Yeah, the game just kind of looks frozen to me.
I think that was just a really, really short pause.
Okay. Yeah, because he reconnected almost immediately after. Yeah, there we go. Game says restart.
So we're right back at the game. All right. A little bit of a hiccup. Whoop.
Game is frozen again. All right.
All right.
Hey, we're all good.
Well, yeah, it's on neither of our ends, because if it happened to both... Oh, and here comes Galio taunting in on Happy Cloud, although Happy Cloud does have 6, so he is up in quite a bit of gold. Each level is worth... almost a kill's worth of gold, I believe. So him going in at 5 into 6 of Happy Cloud, even though Galio usually wins that 1v1, is down quite a bit in terms of stats into this Kog'Maw and loses out on that trade overall.
Yeah. We see him backing in the middle of the lane here. Graves is here. A little bit of assistance. Taunt lands. Possibly a kill?
Some turret shots. Now, that was close. I really like that, actually. Happy Cloud, a little bit of a greedy back spot, although I don't think he thought that Graves was... Oh, and here comes a flash from Olaf. A nice knockup from Galio was going to stop him for half a second, but that is going to secure the kill. At the same time, Arthur Dent going in on the top lane with Wukong ult set. Ults the clone away. A great... Some cheeky monkey plays from Arthur Dent. Actually misses the E, but gets the auto.
That was a beautiful play.
Unless he was trying to E to that. Yeah, Arthur Dent, real nice with that ult, then separating into the clone. Set ults the clone away, and all of a sudden now we have a 2-0. And here comes another 1v1.
Whoa.
Titan in almost a dozen jungle is up a level, and I think Olaf's going to win that. He is going to have to ult out and throw an axe because Galio's coming in. But here
Teleport
comes
in from
Set.
behind. Able to pick the kill up.
All right, so Titan Gaming makes a nice trade back for that kill. They're down about 1,300 gold, but that kill going over to Graves, which is a nice person to have it on early on, who can now kind of fight the Olaf a little bit better if they get in any skirmishes in the river and the jungle. So I'm interested to see where these junglers decide to focus. They've a lot, if not all of their focus has been around mid lane so far, but nothing's really happened. Olaf got that kill on Galio, and they forced some summoners, but ooh, Arthur Dent getting chunked a little bit there by Flak Pack. But the action appears to be in the mid lane, and Graves is there again. If we look at where the teams have sort of placed their wards, you can see that Titan Gaming has placed a lot of priority on the mid lane. They have 2 pinks right by mid, and they have a yellow ward on the bottom side. So they have a clear indication that, and a taunt from Galio, a Q, the auto. Happy Cloud jukes the second part of Graves' Q, and Graves is taking a lot of auto attacks, ults away, kills the Kog'Maw, but is getting pretty low himself. I don't think Kog'Maw passive is going to be able to do anything, so a nice pickup there by Graves, and we've got ourselves a ball game.
Yeah, no kidding. Seeing just a lot of back and forth. It's just a slug match at this point. Both teams just going for each other, going for the jugular. It's exactly
there's
the
a lot
kind
of
of
early
game.
game action.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was hoping for. Just a very exciting game.
For sure. This is one of the few matchups that Graves can lose 1v1 early. That's what I figured. It's also interesting because they both clear so fast, but Olaf has that 1v1 edge. So it's interesting to see what the pathing looks like, because yeah, both of them are farming really well. Both those junglers are great, but Graves, because he paths so well, usually wants to invade the enemy jungler. But if example is saying in chat like he is that Graves actually loses that 1v1 early, then part of his kit is kind of nullified, and we get a fight, getting some flashes, getting a Zyra ult out, nothing really happening. Both teams just sort of handshaking that. Oh, never mind, a Q comes in from Vizzy to just sort of zone off Zyra as Glue Eaters pick up the first Drake of the game, which is a Cloud Drake, and we see Mountain Drake is on the table for the second Dragon. So you know what that means. That means Dragon Soul is either Ocean Soul or Infernal Soul, which are the 2 hypest souls. Let's have a, how tall is Bondi? I think Bondi's like 7'3", 7'4". Really tall. Let's see chat get, some predictions here. Do we think it's going to be Infernal Soul, or do we think it's going to be Ocean Soul? I will, reward you accordingly if you're correct.
He will buy you a Ferrari.
Yep.
A Hot Wheels Ferrari.
Oh, I thought you said Ferrari, like a little plush of the champion Ari.
No.
Which I also, incidentally, will not buy you either. So it doesn't really matter.
It's true. I am absolutely a liar.
So Galio doing a nice job trying to keep the wave on his side of the lane. That's going to be a comfortable spot for him because Kog'Maw would love to freeze it, making Kog'Maw push out forward a little bit. Although, hang on here. We have 4 members of the Glue Eaters pushing up, but almost a dozen catching Bondi out in the river a little bit. But a flash ult forward for Morgana is going to... Ooh, Graves sidestepping the Morgana Q. So nothing's going to happen. Just a bunch of summoners burned. But here comes Set, ulting in, slamming Caitlyn into the backline, and also killing Titan. And that's a 2 for 0 so far. But Arthur Dent trying to get some revenge for his fallen teammates. Q's ease forward, ults in, knocks up Zyra, kills him. But here comes the Galio. But he's really low. A double kill for Arthur Dent. Can he get 3? Set low. A triple kill for Arthur Dent. Glue Eaters says, you may have taken 2 of our friends, but we will take you with us. And overall, a 3 for 2 on the side of Glue Eaters. There is nothing cooler than watching Set ult.
No kidding. Yeah, just take someone and just slam him into the ground a couple of feet away.
Yeah, it's so hype.
Crazy that Graves lived that. I was watching him that entire fight, and he just, at the very end, is able to walk out with a sliver of health. That entire fight was just beyond what I could really comprehend, honestly.
Yeah. I think one interesting point, and I mentioned this earlier, is that Galio ult doesn't actually do a lot for them in terms of the resistances. So Galio going in that low didn't really save the people he was trying to protect because I mean, Arthur Dent was cleaning up anyway. That's all AD damage. There's no shield. I mean, it helps with the Kog'Maw a little bit, but ultimately all I think it did was give them 300 more gold.
Yeah, now we see him sitting 5-0-0, 2 Doran's Blades, and a Triforce.
Yeah, this is not a happy top lane for Flak Pack.
No.
And now Olaf is here. They just dropped the Herald, which is not going to take the tower, but they're dropping it to make sure the plates go down, and they're just going to give Arthur Dent another couple hundred.
So much
which,
money.
Like, why not?
Oh my god. We see Graves here in the bot lane, trying to respond.
So Arthur Dent with a full 1,000 gold plus,
wow.
a full 1,200 gold more than any other person in the game.
Insane.
This one could get ugly. Caitlyn ulting, getting Zyra quite low. They're pretty comfortable there because they do have the Graves. Almost a dozen. Just sitting down there waiting for an opportunity, but I don't think he's going to get one.
He's been sitting there for a long time.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything on this side of the map to get, so he either backs and goes top, invades the bot side jungle of Olaf, which I don't think is safe to do because they don't know where Olaf is. So he's just sort of waiting patiently here. Although the more and more he wakes, the more comical it becomes.
Yeah, it's
oh, he moved, so he didn't disconnect.
yeah. He walked over to the tri bush.
So
at
now
one
they know
point.
where he is, and is it gonna pay off?
Oh, there it is. Oh, he has to flash.
Has to burn every ability he has, including flash, but gets the kill, and the investment of time pays off, and Arthur Dent here just beating up on Flak Pack. Flak Pack ultimate of the tower and gets his Haymaker up. Arthur Dent takes a couple of shots as the shield for Flak Pack keeps him alive under the tower, but Arthur Dent smells blood in the water like a shark who sees an injured seal, knows that this is an opportunity for some blood. But oh my god, he gets a kill and flashes out! What an insane move from Arthur Dent!
He's getting chased down. Uses his W to evade some damage.
The cheekiest of monkeys.
Oh. Beautiful plays. Very clean. Well done.
And here comes a fight down bottom. Almost a dozen in some trouble, but it looks like they say call an ambulance, but not for me.
Yeah, turned that fight around like it was nothing.
Kog'Maw's here now, and almost a dozen is in a little bit of trouble because Kog'Maw does have that execute on his ult, but they are going to pick up the... And that's an interesting spot for Bondi to be. I did not expect the ult to come from there. A little alone and separated from the team.
Oh, no.
And Titan's going to get picked out. I saw
last
Bondi approaching the fight, and I was like, oh, is he going to go around and group with his team? And then just sort of ulted off to the side, which made sense because it does help Kog'Maw the lower anyone is, but it means that when they all turn and jump onto the Olaf, that's one less person to help. And it is Ocean Soul, so let's see all the idiots in chat. Example, you idiot. Whoever is on the low-budget LCS account right now, huge idiot. Nobody even said Ocean, so you're all wrong.
A little harsh, but,
well,
you know,
if you don't want to be called an idiot, then don't say wrong things.
Yeah, absolutely warranted. I will say.
Yeah. And I have a feeling that the person on low budget LCS right now is LeChance, but I'm not positive. But I stand by what I said.
Getting dove under tower here.
So that's one of the downsides of Kog'Maw mid is that he's fairly immobile. Part of the reason he took Ghost, but when your Ghost is down and Graves Galio wants to dive you, you're just going to die.
Yeah. Galio did fall low.
Galio fell very low. They did a good job of juggling the aggro there. But unfortunately, Olaf wasn't nearby to counter gank, so it looks like Kog'Maw just gets kind of put in the dirt there. He did finish Archangels now, so once Kog'Maw finishes stacking the tier on Archangels, it's going to be very, very helpful for him. Like I said, he's very immobile, very can be kind of squishy. Does get to stand in the back very safely, but if someone gets onto him, that's kind of troublesome. So having that shield and a little bit of self-peel on yourself is really advantageous. Bikini Republic wants us to pause the game. They're going to eat a bagel, so if we could pause that for them.
Oh, yeah, this is awkward. It's kind of an online game.
Happening.
Can't really pause it in the middle of it.
Mom, I can't save here. I can't pause the game.
Yeah, it's explaining it. It's Sorry, man, but we'll do our best.
I used to, and we see a gank from Arthur Den here. Oh, almost doesn't, throws a smoke screen to try to help and then goes down, which is ultimately not going to be helpful for his team as the Morgana ult locks him up and the kill goes over to Bondi. I don't even remember what I was going to talk about. Oh, yeah, when I was younger, I was, constantly battling my parents because when you're in the middle, so Pokemon is a game that you can usually save, but if you're in the middle of a fight, if you're in the middle of a gym battle or the Elite Four, you can't really save. And there are plenty of times that I've started an intense battle right before dinner and was yelled at, and I said, "You're gonna have to wait, Mom. I can't save here.
Just 5 minutes."
She's like, "Just turn it off," and I was like, "Just turn it off." Out of your mind. Acid Step getting caught. The Olaf axe slowing him, juking the Kog'Maw E, but I think he might not be long for this world. The Caitlyn ult to seal the deal doesn't even need it. Happy Cloud gets his first kill of the game. Gonna feel good. The faster Kog'Maw can get his items, the better. Caitlyn getting rooted by the Zyra. TG Boom walking out. Caitlyn Eing out, making the Varus ult miss, but Varus flash Qs, and that's gonna be 300 gold over to TG Boom.
He's gonna say thank you very much. And
it's a very bloody game. They're averaging a kill a minute.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Both teams, like I said, it's just like a big old grudge match. No bars hold, street fight at this point.
Yeah,
and
this is it's a brawl. Arthur Den here, comfortable in the 1v2 going forward, but might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. Actually, bit off like roughly the amount that everyone can chew. That was like a regular size snack for both people. Not particularly satisfying.
Yeah, as we see here. He's
they're
caught
hiding
out.
in the bush.
He doesn't
Arthur
have ult.
Dent caught out a little bit. Can he trade
He's
a
able
kill
to
back?
trade
He
one.
does trade a kill back. Arthur Dent is godlike. In fact, correct. Trades a kill in the 1v3, although the shutdown gold, I believe, went to Graves, which is, yes. So gets 400 extra gold on that kill, which is pretty nice. Though Glue Eaters they are going to be happy with that extra kill trade, and then they also got the Rift Herald, which I would imagine is going to be used mid, as that is the most important outer turret to get, and yep, they're just dropping it down. So mid turret's low enough, rule of thumb, if it's a little bit below, if it's got 2 plates or 2.5 plates, the Rift Herald, or it's a little bit below half, the Rift Herald will just kill it in 1. So Glue Eaters popping that mid tower, which is going to be really nice for them, lets them push up, get some pressure before this dragon. Unstoppable from Olaf, stops the Varus ult, but it looks like we're going to have a fight, although some of the Glue Eaters are pretty low. Morgana and Olaf quite low here, trying to set up for Dragon, but it looks like they might not be able to get it, although here comes Arthur Dent, and he is enormous. He has his Death Stance, he has his Triforce, he's being real cute. The Galio ult's coming in to try to zone the Glue Eaters off of this Dragon, and I think they're going to get the Dragon, but Glue Eaters might be able to pick up a bunch of kills on the back end. Galio goes golden to stop, but that's not going to stop Kog'Maw from picking up his second kill of the game. Arthur Dent going forward, ulting, knocking up Varus and Set. Arthur Dent just diving onto this Varus, and the Set goes down too. This Wukong is huge.
Massive.
Yes, Titan Gaming gets the Dragon, but at what cost? And Glue Eaters are going right to Baron.
Yeah, like you were saying, just taking the dragon, but losing the fight. Win the battle, lose the war.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, the Glue Eaters are going to be perfectly okay with what just happened.
Yeah.
So, low budget LCS, who may or may not be LeChance right now, asked, does Wukong work differently? They did do sort of like a mini change to Wukong in the last couple of patches. His clones now clone the abilities that he cast, and he gets 2 charges on his ult now. So a couple seconds after he pops his first ult, he can pop it again and do the same exact thing, and him and his clone both knock up with the ult now. So, really no downside, just buffs, just made him better.
It made him a very strong
Seems, yeah, quite dangerous, in fact, and you're seeing it in this game.
So I am interested. What button do you press in order to see the gold? That is something I should
Oh,
probably have learned.
X.
X.
X. If you
All
hit
right,
X, it switches to the gold.
Let's have a look. Okay, well, we see Wukong sitting. He's got 5 digits in his numbers.
Yeah, his bank account is looking pretty nice here. Graves isn't too shabby though either. But
Yeah, he's
what
not far behind.
what you really want to start looking at though is the Kog'Maw's gold, because now we're at the point where Kog'Maw has finished Seraph's, has finished Liandry's,
Oh yeah, there he goes.
and is now going to be hitting pretty hard. He's level 14. Once Kog'Maw hits level 16, his ults are going to do so much. And it looks like Morgana getting caught out here a little bit. Her spell shield is going to stop the root, or a significant amount of the damage from the Zyra. I couldn't tell if it stopped the root or the ult, but just clearing wards, gets away. Zyra only has 1 item, didn't even finish boots yet, so isn't going to do too much damage to her. And now we see Glue Eaters just sort of deciding what to do with this Baron buff. Looks like Arthur Dent on this Wukong is going to be splitting top lane. It makes a lot of sense. Dude's huge. And they're sending everyone else mid, it seems.
It makes sense. A little bit of an ARAM with a Wukong off by himself. I think he can handle the set pretty handedly, as we see there.
Yeah. I think he can handle Set and someone else somewhat handily.
Probably. Could he handle Set and Graves?
It depends how well it's played. I don't think
True.
he could do that. I don't think
Yeah.
he wins against Set Graves, but I think he could beat like Set Zyra.
Yeah, I think it could beat Set Zyra. I think it could beat Set with Galio coming
Set
in.
Varus, yeah. So Gluter's just sieging this mid turret. Titan Gaming knows that they can't really contest it, so they are just conceding it to them. Wukong doing a really nice move, pushing that wave in top, and then just sort of hovering in the jungle in between top and mid, although Titan Gaming reads this play really well. They see him on a ward, they're pinging him out, so they're not going to go for a fight knowing that they have this Wukong with a potential flank. They are going to take some of the Titan Gaming's jungle, deprive them of some gold and XP, and really just make them feel the pressure. It's a bad feeling to have the other team taking your jungle on your side of the map, exerting quite a bit of pressure on you.
Yeah. We see them sieging down this top lane. Baron buff is gone at this point. So the siege is a little less than it was before, but I mean with Kog'Maw just raining down artillery from like miles away, there's not really a whole lot you can do.
They could keep it up. They could keep it up if they wanted, but they are starting to ping out this dragon, which is up in 40 seconds. So I think they're putting, and I think rightfully so, putting some emphasis on this objective over the top side inner turret, which I think is pretty reasonable. So I think we're gonna see. I wonder if Titan Gaming is just going to try to concede this. So I think they have to fight it. Although Graves getting caught in the jungle with the Caitlyn and the Wukong ult, has to flash out. But here comes Kog'Maw just spamming those abilities, and he hits 1, he hits 2, and it's gone. And Arthur Dent pushing this a little bit, but Flakpack is going to bork him to slow him down a little bit, and he's just going to say, "All right, that's fine. I'll just turn around and take this dragon."
Yeah, and at this point,
Graves getting caught out.
At this point, it's just a free dragon. Graves is gone. You have your whole team up. It's just all full health bars. All the mana that you need is available for you.
And that's a testament to how comfortable Glue Eaters is pushing their lead right now. Right? They know that they have the advantage. They know, like I said before, that they can go in and take Titan Gaming's jungle camps. They know they can shove these waves. They know they have this priority everywhere, really. So they can just camp out and chill in that jungle, knowing full well that if anyone walks up, they just die. But they also know that someone has to eventually walk up to get to that dragon. So either Titan Gaming decides a minute out they're going to concede that dragon, or they have to walk up to ward. And unfortunately, almost a dozen gets picked off.
Indeed. So, there's no major objectives on the map, no major neutral objectives on the map currently for anyone to take. Are we just expecting them to siege a couple of towers and then wait for this dragon out, or do you think they're going to try and close it out?
I mean, I honestly think the Glue Eaters can close this game out before Dragon Soul ever even becomes a win condition for them. I don't think they need it. I think the dragon is valuable because it stops Titan Gaming being able to take that Dragon Soul and come back into the game somehow. But I think Arthur Dent can sit in the side lane basically forever. And here we see him going to try to 1v2 this set and Galio. And let's see if our hypothesis earlier was correct. Can he 1v2 these people? He ults once, ults twice, gets a knock up on both of them, is staying alive for so long. But it doesn't look like he's going to get it. A nice no news from Azza Step is going to keep him alive for a little bit longer.
So much healing.
And Arthur Dent trying to take That Death Dance
That was
doing
close.
some real work in that fight, but ultimately Set and Galio do come out on top, but not without taking a couple of bruises and bumps themselves. Unfortunately, Baron wasn't up at the time, so Glue Eaters wasn't really able to set up the play they wanted to set up, which is have Wukong in the bot lane, pushing that tower, having 4 people by Baron. If someone comes to the Baron, then Wukong TPs and they fight and take Baron. If someone goes to match the Wukong, then they just 4-man the Baron. And if the Baron was up, that's a free Baron for Glue Eaters. But unfortunately, they kind of mistimed it a little bit. Galio got a nice roam off bot lane to help the set out, and Arthur Dent gets shot down in the prime of his life. And here's some Kog'Maw gameplay.
Just press R. That's all you gotta do.
Just press R.
Yeah.
E is nice,
He's all right.
but
And
R
W
is
is
what you
okay.
want. Now here's the crazy thing about Kog'Maw. His Q shreds stats.
Shreds armor.
If
shreds
you
armor.
hit someone with Kog'Maw's Q, their armor and magic resist is reduced by like a quarter. Let me see what the actual number is. 28% for 4 seconds. If Kog'Maw hits Galio with a Q for 4 seconds, his MR is reduced by, and we're gonna see it here. He just dies.
Yeah, there it goes.
I mean, that was less of a testament to Kog'Maw's abilities and more about where
and Set
Galio
looks
was
like he's
standing
next
in
up.
relation to the Glue Eaters.
Good flash
But-
out of Set though.
Yeah. Set had 2 summoners to use. He used one of them poorly and one of them very well, so we're going to call that even.
Yeah, and that's a net even. Although it looks
Yeah,
like they
net
will be
even,
losing
and
the
Glue Eaters
Baron.
going to take this Baron.
Yeah.
So I think Glue Eaters' win condition is literally just, it looks like almost it doesn't trying to get cute here. TG Boom actually picking out Morgana, and Glue Eaters might have taken a little bit too much damage to go for this Baron. Almost a dozen gets picked out, but so does Titan with both junglers dead. This Baron is anyone. Arthur Dent TPs in and does quite a bit of damage on the back, but I don't know if they're going to get the ace, because I think Zyra and Varus are going to be able to get out. Varus does flash to leave. I wonder if Glue Eaters is going to try to take this Baron, or if they're just going to be content with pushing some waves, maybe taking top tower. What I thought was a certain Baron for Glue Eaters turned out wasn't. And a nice play from Titan Gaming to disrupt that Baron take and stop them. I think if Glue Eaters took that Baron, that's easily an inhibitor, if not being able to push for the game, as Arthur Dent at this point can dive pretty deep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Through towers.
Yeah, I think they'll be
especially
pretty.
enabled by something like the Morgana Black Shield.
Yeah, I think they'll be pretty happy as we watch. Sorry, but this Kog'Maw back. Oh my god.
Oh my god! Wait, I had never looked at that. It's like a Pokemon.
But back to like the the game and the stakes and LBLCS. I think Titan Gaming is gonna be pretty happy with that. They stopped the Baron. They lost a few members, but ultimately that's another instance of they lost the battle, but they won the war kind of there. They lost a few members, but they stopped the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said before, if that Baron was taken by Glue Eaters, this game is in a much worse spot for Titan Gaming. So even though they did, I think, overall in the gold lose out, they do stop the worst case scenario. So they are going to fight over this other dragon.
Yeah.
TG Boom with Edge of Night is going to get popped by Morgana's Q.
We got 10 seconds on the dragon as we see both teams trying to get mid prior here.
Now, I wonder if Titan Gaming is just going to concede this dragon and try to dig mid tower, because they've put their jungler up there, and dragon has already spawned. It seems like they're a little late on this rotation, and Wukong's just holding mid himself. Morgana's zoning everyone, and the dragon is killed before anyone from Titan Gaming even approaches the pit. And Wukong now all by himself gets taunted up, but is going to be able to QSS out of that. Set going to the backline, but can't kill anyone. It is going to probably die himself, although Galio is following up on the Set ult and is going to knock up a couple of members of Glue Eaters, and Bondi's going to fall down from some pretty nice Galio play, and Graves here is actually doing a hell of an amount of damage too, but Happy Cloud in the back doing quite a bit of damage on this AP Kog'Maw. Arthur Dent falling low, but ulting to keep this fight alive a little bit longer, but falls down. And Glue Eaters down members right now. Titan falls, although so does almost a dozen. A nice pickup from Happy Cloud to make this, I mean, a little bit more worth it. They do get the dragon, but Glue Eaters does lose a 4 for 3, almost a 4 for 2, but Happy Cloud with a nice snipe, although he is pressing this issue here, has quite a bit of mana left. TG Boom gets hit by the Q, does sort of cleanse. I'm not sure what that cleanse was for.
Teleport coming
and
out
dies.
from Galio.
Oh, Galio's quite quick here.
Oh,
It's going to
boy.
taunt Happy Cloud. Happy Cloud's going to hit Archangels. Is taking quite a bit of damage, but I don't think Galio has the damage to deal with this. Galio is not really a 1v1 champion, although does turn around and get it really nice. Is the... No, that was really nice from Galio. I think Happy Cloud got a little cocky there. Galio normally doesn't really like win that 1v1 in the sense that once he burns his abilities, Kog'Maw can just leave. So Kog'Maw doesn't necessarily get the kill, but can win in the sense that they just break even and he gets to leave having killed that Varus. But Galio reading the over-aggression from Kog'Maw really well and knowing that he can just turn on him and kill him once his E comes back off a cooldown. So very chaotic fight. Glue Eaters get the dragon, but both teams pick up just a ton more gold in kills.
And I don't know which team is more happy with what just happened, if I'm being honest.
I think both teams are like,
yeah, they're
all
like,
right. So, like, if I'm Glue, I'd still rather be Glue Eaters in this situation, right?
Okay.
If someone was like, okay, you have to jump into this game on one of these teams, whose team do you want to be on? I'm going to pick Glue Eaters, but I don't think it's doomed. They do have 3 dragons, but they don't have Dragon Soul. They did take some outer turrets, but they don't have any inhibitors. And Caitlyn getting picked up here, Bondi just goes down. And Glue Eater's going to lose a member right before Dragon.
Oh
and Morgana might go down too, has to Black Shield herself and Blast Cone out. But that's the AD carry, a 3-item Caitlyn gone with Dragon up.
Yeah, we see mid turret finally falling.
Yeah, that's going to be nice for Titan Gaming.
Yeah, it really opens up
those
the map.
sort of mid-outers really let you move around the map and get some deep jungle pressure and vision, and makes those neutral objectives on the side a little bit easier to take. So they're going to be happy that they finally got that off their back.
Kog'Maw just sending artillery from halfway across your screen, all the way across your screen, off your screen even.
Yeah, Titan Gaming starts the dragon, but sort of, better not. Kog'Maw is really scary. TG Boom falling pretty low, even with an MR item and a half. I wonder if he's gonna go for Hex Drinker next. Wait, he has another serrated Dirk, but also a Null Magic. I wonder what he's building. Speaking of building, excellent transition. Thank you so much. Kog'Maw has 3 items now, and that's really scary. That he's got this Rabadons.
Let's see.
Sitting on 665 AP.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean his ult. If enemies are below 40% health, they take 820 damage per ult.
Damn.
From Kog'Maw right now. So that's scary.
Yeah, that's not something I want to get hit with.
Imagine getting chunked for 1,000 damage per R if you're under half health. I mean,
you only get hit twice and then you're dead.
Yeah, and then you're dead. Even the regular health is doing, anywhere from 600 damage to 700 damage. If you're doing full health, it's still doing 600 damage.
Yeah, that's still hurting. Oh.
Yeah. So we can call this Kog'Maw pretty online. He's level 16. He's obviously not full build, but he's 3 items, level 16. This is where Kog'Maw wants to be. Glue Eater is huddling around this dragon, which is spawning in 10 seconds.
Yeah, we see.
Are the favorites to take this dragon, as they have set up a little earlier, and have more gold, but as we saw last time, someone gets picked, that's a problem. Graves over on the side. Glue Eater's not super comfortable starting it yet. We see both teams just jockeying for position. Support's just sort of pushing up towards the front, seeing if they could get a pick somewhere. Kog'Maw walking over, being able to clear mid-wave from that river brush, getting mid-priority from a screen and a half away.
Yeah. Can ult mid-wave and then come back and ult dragon. Oh, Zyra taking a lot of damage, although Caitlyn's a little caught out.
Going to flash on, but only get Morgana. Gets the knockup on Kog'Maw, but if Kog'Maw survives this, I think this is pretty doomed for Titan Gaming, although this Graves over to the side with Galio coming and ulting out is going to pick up Bondi. Kog'Maw's going to try to do what he can, but it's not a lot because he's so low on health. But Arthur Dent, the Wukong, the man, the myth, the legend, popping off in the back line, gets a triple kill, hunting for the set now, and the fight going the way of Glue Eaters. 4 dead. Arthur Dent trying to get this ace and this quadra kill. And he does, and that's going to be Ocean Soul for Glue Eaters. What looked like a really well-played team fight from Titan Gaming, with an early pick from Bondi again, with a really nice kill onto Happy Cloud, with a great flank from Graves, and a great Galio ult. All seemed really great, up until General Wukong, Arthur Den himself, dives and ults into the back line, and that's all she wrote. It's a quadra kill for the Wukong, 13-3 and 5. Ocean Soul, they're going to push in. They're going to get mid and hip, I'd imagine, at the very least this tower.
Yeah, we keep talking about this Kog'Maw, and really it's just... like, he's doing damage, he's doing exactly what he needs to do, sit in the back line, throwing out R's, throwing out damage. But this Wukong just continues to come in and just deal a massive amount of damage, clean up. You know, he just finished his last Whisper, his QSS was up. Like, he was just all...
in a very weird way, and I'm sure Kog'Maw's doing plenty of damage, and I'm sure if we look at the damage charts, he's up there. But in a very weird way, he's kind of acting like bait for Arthur Dent, because they get Graves and Galio, who are like kind of bruisery but a little squishy. They are still, at the end of the day, somewhat carry champions to dive the Kog'Maw, and when they dive the Kog'Maw, Arthur Dent can do whatever he wants. He can kill them, he can dive Zyra Varus, he can stay and kill the Graves or Galio. I think this Wukong is a real problem, and I think if Titan Gaming keeps playing these fights, diving the carries get a lot of damage off, especially Wukong, before they die, and then Arthur Dent just cleans up.
Absolutely.
I think they need plays like they did earlier, where they pick off Caitlyn, no harm, no foul, and then can just back up. In a team fight, picking her early isn't necessarily great if you use all of your resources, and then Wukong cleans up.
Yeah. Although we do see them starting a Baron here, kind of daring Glue Eaters to come and do something. Wukong is in the bot lane, however. We see the teleport coming out from them, and they want to run away.
My God.
That's a lot of damage.
Wukong, how much
my.
damage can you take? Galio's going to try to ult out, but in vain.
Although,
Wukong falling kind of low. But Death's Dance is just doing work, and so is the Morgana Shield, and so is the 20,000 gold he has accumulated throughout this game. Happy Cloud killing Zyra on the back. That is going to be a 5-0 clean wipe for Glue Eaters. Not even going to care about this Baron. They know the death timers are long enough. They know they have enough people up. They are...
there's the surrender vote. And we keep...
that's the surrender, and they know that's over.
Yeah, we were talking
Titan
about...
Gaming says go next.
Oh, my. We talked about kills. We talked about a lot of things. We didn't talk about CS, and I think that's something we should have a look at once we get into this post-game screen. Because, my God.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Glue Eaters farmed like champs.
Over 100 CS up in this top lane.
Yeah, that's a clean Flame Horizon from Arthur Dent there.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, if we look, yeah, Kog'Maw did a ton of damage, but the Wukong did more.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, very clean game coming out from Glue Eaters here. So what adaptations going into this game, into this next game, would we want to make if we were on these teams? I don't know what else Arthur Dent plays, but that Wukong was terrifying.
I don't even think the problem was the Wukong. I think the problem was that Arthur Dent got a champion that he could snowball a lead on and 1v9, right? Not that the other players weren't doing anything, but he got so ahead and he can just snowball like crazy, right? If he's on something like Ornn, yeah, you can kind of snowball, but if you can find a way to put him on someone that's not a carry, is something to do. But I don't really know what kind of adaptations you can do. You can try to get, like example said, a better top lane matchup. I think that's a way to think about it, but I don't really know. It didn't seem like there was one clear thing that was an issue. I think Glue Eaters just played the game a little bit better, and Arthur Dent snowballed, and Happy Cloud scaled, and that's the game.
Fair enough. I have no counterpoints to that argument, so I will give this one to you, good sir. Alright, I have to switch around where these are, and for anyone who is not aware, this is Semifinals. This is a best of 3, so if Glue Eaters are able to pull off a win in the next game as well, then the series will be over. However, if Titan Gaming is able to pick up a game, we will then be able to see a third game come out.
Yeah. We'll see what Titan Gaming pulls out. I think that their comp was okay. They had the opportunity to try to snowball with some early priority in some places like mid, but ultimately didn't have the kind of late game firepower that Glue Eaters had, and it showed. And it also didn't help that they snowballed, right? So even if they got to that point, no matter what in the game, it would have been hard for them to come back because Glue Eaters did have the scaling on their side. But at the same time, it's even harder to come back because Glue Eaters not only had the scaling on their side, they had the gold on their side too. So when you win the part of the game you're not supposed to win, that's going to make it harder for you to come back. So I don't know if Titan Gaming really needs to make a draft adjustment unless they want to, try to scale for late in tandem with Glue Eaters. But if you pick an early game comp and lane's a priority and it sort of falls a little flat. Yeah.
So then maybe we could expect to see some more heavy team fight, not heavy team, sorry, some late game scaling coming out on the side of.
Yeah, it would be good.
Titan
I think
Gaming
it's a little safer, especially in not that everyone is an amateur in this league, right? But we have, these are higher ELO players, but no matter what, I think late game scaling can be sort of sometimes the safer thing to do. Even just from an insurance standpoint, right? Even if you do have a really good early game comp, if you for whatever reason can't close it out like you'd like to close it out, then you get a chance to at least have something in your back pocket. But when you don't have anything in the back pocket, it's tough. Interesting conversation in the chat. Aphelios was banned. What else is there? Higher ELO ADC is very interesting because in the lower ELO we see a lot of priority on things like Jinx.
Yeah.
I think we've seen some Twitch games, but those are a little bit harder to pull off because they're such punishable picks. It is hard. The reason Aphelios is so good is because, and even Ezreal to some degree, the reason that they're so prioritized in professional play is because they are hyper-scaling champions that also can hold their own in lane and are fairly safe and durable. Whether that's self-peel, whether that is dashes or escapes. Now, when you have people who can punish immobile ADCs, things like Jinx get really bad because they do scale really well, but they don't have a lot of self-peel, and they don't have any dashes or mobility, and it's really easy to punish something like that with players of this caliber. So you fall into these positions where if something like Aphelios is banned or Ezreal is banned, immediately, if you're trying to get some scaling damage somewhere, it's tough to get the ADC you want to scale in the late game. Which is why I think scaling picks in the top of the mid lane are so strong here, because there are so many more varied options. We saw things like the Kog'Maw, we've seen things like the Cassidy, we've seen things like the Vladimir. Really strong scaling solo laners. Well, let's see what happens in draft. But I'd love to see a really hard scaling solo laner from Titan Game. Titan Gaming does elect to pick Teemo ADC, hit him with a curve. I mean, maybe. Titan Gaming does have side selection for game 2, so the way that we do side selection in the LBLCS, the top seeded team gets to pick sides on games 1 and 3, and then the lower seeded team gets to pick side on game 2. So Glue Eaters, being the higher seed, have picked red side for game 1, and now side selection goes over to Titan Gaming for game 2, and they pick red side as well. So clearly, red side seems to be the preferred side, and it did work out for Glue Eaters there, as they did win game 1. Titan Gaming could also consider a starving Senna lane if they play it. Yeah. I mean, that could be really interesting if they tried the Wukong Senna. I mean, it's pretty tough to pull off, but it does not only take away the Wukong, but it also gives some scaling ADC damage. Although most Senna builds I've seen go the Grasp, sort of Frozen Mallet tankier builds, which I don't know how much damage that pumps out.
Yeah, the link to the pro draft has been posted.
Oh, I didn't even
Picks
see it.
and bans
Oh, here we go.
should be coming out very shortly.
Interesting to see. I mean, Titan Gaming, if they banned Wukong, fine. But I don't think they need to. I don't think I don't think the champion itself was why they lost the game. Right? I don't think that because Arthur Dent specifically had Wukong is why they lost the game. I think there are a number of champions where something like that could have been possible. But I also, at the same time, wouldn't fault them because Wukong is if you're trying to have a scaling carry or have a backline carry, Wukong can do a great job of getting real deep on in there. So interested to see what adaptations come out of Titan Gaming or even Glue Eaters from Game 2. They might have seen something that they don't really want to deal with. But at the same time, I tend to be of the opinion and of the mind that if you win the first game of a best of 3 or best of series in general, you could feel pretty comfortable thinking that your game plan worked, and you could, within reason, run it back, or at least plan to run it back until you see something different. But of course, they are on blue side, so they might have a different blue side strategy kind of prepared.
We will find out hopefully shortly. I would not be surprised to see a Kog'Maw ban come out. Not because of any crazy playmaking that happened in the previous game, but just because a lot of the times they were diving super deep to try to grab that Kog'Maw just because he can play back and play super safe and still do a lot of damage. And then they were being punished for diving just so far deep. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like you got to get rid of a lot of those like just hang back champions, especially if you're gonna like leave up like those Wukongs or the super strong kind of frontline bruisers.
I think Happy Cloud is sort of an interesting person to draft against in general. I'm double checking right now, but I believe their champion pool is fairly interesting. It is not that they can't play the other champions, but the champions you see them play a lot are kind of not atypical, but kind of quirky, right? Plays a lot of Zoe, which is not as straightforward as some other control mages. Plays a lot of Katarina, plays that Kog'Maw mid, right? Things that are kind of cutesy, or interesting or quirky that might just be a pain to play against. Would be surprised if we see some bans going that way. And it looks like, let's see, casters are ready whenever. Whew. Shout out to, I don't know if he's watching the cast, but shout out to Yo Daddy's Daddy. Just messaged me and said that his team unclashed tonight. So,
good
work
for them.
Yeah, Zoe, press E and win the game, or if you miss, wait 15 seconds. Yep, that's how that works. Although if you're in the ELO play-in, it's hit E, pray to God your team doesn't break the sleep before you can one-shot them, and then tilt and rage, and tilt on the face of the earth. That's the game.
So hitting her after a sleep, hitting a target after sleep has been hit and ends the sleep. That would probably explain the Zoe raging at me earlier this day.
Yes, if you hit, so just to keep this in mind, everyone in chat, if you don't know this, Zoe's bubble is asleep. It's not like a stun. It's not a traditional CC. It's asleep, right? And if Zoe hits the person who is asleep with her bubble, with her abilities, she does extra damage and wakes them up. Just like if you were sound asleep in bed and someone punched you in the face with a huge magic bubble, you would wake up. But at the same time, if someone punched you in the face with anything, you would wake up. So her sleep also ends if anyone else deals damage to that champion. Oh, everyone does extra damage. Okay. Oh, really? Everyone? Either way. If you break it early, there is a chance, more likely than not, that you have messed up a combo that Zoe is trying to land. right? Because even if everyone does extra damage, the Zoe is going to be the one who does the most burst damage on your team moments for sure, especially if they can get a huge like max range Q ult onto the sleep. So if any damage wakes up the person from the bubble, right? It's annoying because she can't hit her max range Paddle Star. Yeah, exactly. So it's not that it doesn't do extra damage; it's that she's the one who wants to be controlling that damage. So if you see Zoe sleep someone, do not hit them until she does, unless you know you can kill them. And either way, it's still probably going to be annoying to her.
All right, the draft has begun. The first link was
they
not
made
the
a new
correct
draft.
one, so there's a new one.
God
We are 4
damn
bands
it.
in.
These idiots.
Seeing the same bands coming out from Glue Eaters.
Seeing the same bands coming out from Titan Gaming other than the Olaf. Now, GP is up. Okay, Glue Eaters, priority on Graves in the series seems... hovering the Nunu.
Mid AP
If they lock in
Nunu.
the Nunu, I have things to say.
Okay.
That might have been a nice little wink and a nod about the AP Nunu mid. But interesting that Titan Gaming has banned Olaf, leaving the GP up, which is an Arthur Dent staple.
So now does the top laner for Titan play Gangplank? Is that something that they could feel comfortable taking away, or is that something that they kind of have to feel pressure on right now?
Say that again?
Ooh, Shyvana. I was wondering if the top laner for Titan Gaming also plays Gangplank or has any experience with it.
I'm not sure if they play Gangplank on Titan Gaming. So Shyvana
Fair
Ashe is
enough.
interesting. Shyvana is actually so interesting that I'm checking chat to see if that might have been a mistake in the pro draft, and it doesn't seem like it was. So we do have a Shyvana on Titan Gaming, which I would almost be certain is AP jungle, but I suppose could go somewhere else. Now Glue Eaters thinking about B2, B3 picks.
A
Yep.
Jhin.
The Jhin is interesting. Haven't seen a lot of Jhin lately. I think is a decent ADC. Scales pretty well. Has some CC. Can be kind of safe if people peel for him. Though doesn't have any sort of dashes or self peel like a lot of other ADCs do. But packs a punch, gets the movement speed, has a nice W for CC. And I wonder if they're going to pick. Yeah, so they do pick their support with the ADC, picking their 2v2 lane. In the same rotation, Jhin Blitzcrank coming out of Glue Eaters immediately. Pretty exciting comp. Oh, we've been raided with a party of 90 people from Risen Esports. Hello, Risen Esports. Welcome to our stream. This is to keep you up or catch you up to speed. This is the CEO League, which is a Plat, Diamond, ELO, our highest league. Semifinals between Glue Eaters and Titan Gaming. Glue Eaters, the #1 seed from the regular split. Titan Gaming, I believe, the 4th seed or the 5th seed from regular season. This is currently a 1-0 series. Glue Eaters taking game 1. It is a best of 3. So if the Glue Eaters take game 2, they are moving on to the finals next weekend. And if Titan Gaming takes game 2, we are moving on to a 3rd game. Thresh being the answer to Jhin Blitzcrank from Titan Gaming. Interesting considering Morgana was up and we did see that it was a champion that had been played. And there come the Wukong Gangplank bans. Makes a lot of sense. Arthur Dent, they're giving him a little bit of a counter pick or a later pick in the draft. Is their star player. And they say no to the Wukong, they say no to the Gangplank. 2 champions he has shown significant amount of proficiency on throughout the weeks of this particular split. Maokai picked up by Titan Gaming. Assume is going in the top lane. And a Camille! I have not seen Arthur Dent's Camille, but if it looks anything like his Wukong, I am hype on that pick.
Absolutely.
And I wonder if they go, do they run back the Galio? Galio Camille is a great combo, and they showed last game that Titan Gaming can play Galio, and I wonder if they try to take it away from them. And they pick the Azir. Okay. Azir is a totally reasonable blind pick for the mid lane. Scales really well, has a shockingly oppressive lane phase in some matchups, and either way is fairly safe. Has a dash out, has a shield, has an ult that can say no thank you to anyone trying to gank him after level 6. Fairly safe blind mid. And let's see what Titan Gaming answers with. They answer with a Malzahar. They say, we just want to push in and we want to pick people. Okay, scales pretty well. Does decent damage to tanks, so there aren't that many tanks on the Glue Eater side. Both teams running a bit of a pick comp, right? Azir wants to shuffle someone, Blitzcrank wants to hook someone, Jin wants to W someone, Camille wants to ult someone. On the other hand, Titan Gaming wants to Ashe ult someone. They want to Thresh hook someone, they want to Malzahar ult someone. So both teams, this game is going to be really, really about positioning and who can sort of do the dance a little better, right? Which team can position and dance and set up in a way where their pick is the pick that picks first.
Absolutely, I have to agree. Both of these teams, from
Yeah, that's
at
true.
least,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, it's just both of these teams just kind of want to run at you. If I'm being honest, it's just they both want to just run into each other. Blitzcrank a little bit kind of off to the side, doing his own thing, but everyone else, oh,
Oxymoron saying Azir does not want to shuffle anyone on that team. Fair enough. I think if by some random chance you can shuffle Ashe into your team, that's decent, but you probably don't want Shiv any closer. You probably don't want Maokai any closer.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But I do think that there's... I will also say that Azir Shuffle interrupts Malzahar ult, so I don't know how much I agree with you there, Oxymoron.
Well, I feel like
second thought.
I feel like he'd more want to push people away, push the Shyvana away, push the Maokai away, push the Thresh away, disrupt the Malzahar. I mean, it also depends, how much gold they have. If Glue Eaters end up with a massive gold lead again, he could probably feel comfortable pushing a bunch of people in, but
yeah. Malz will need boomer reaction for that. Fair. I think that's also a good point to be made. So as they're just running back through this draft, in Champ Select, we have the most important question we could possibly ask as our pregame analysis, which is what skins do we think teams are going to be running on these champions? Can we get some people in chat talking a little bit about what the preferred skins for each of these champions are? What Azir skin do you think is the best skin? Is it Gravelord, like a lot of people think? Or is it Warring Kingdoms, like I know is the best Azir skin?
sounds like there's a little bias there.
Is Acid Step going to have Hextech Malzahar, or is he going to be using one of his lesser skins? Of the 7,000 Ashe skins that exist, which one is TG Boom going to use? Oxymoron says Galactic or Riot. I actually kind of agree with you. I don't have Warring Kingdoms, but I do have Galactic, and I have Gravelord, and I play Galactic. I do think it is better. One of the better Azir skins.
All right, I'm going for big brain estimates here.
Okay, go. Hit me.
Huntress Ashe.
Ooh, that would be wild. If we go to the game and TG Boom is Huntress Ashe, I will gift you a mystery skin.
All right, no, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Meowkai.
Okay, that's reasonable.
And then Riot Blitz.
Riot. So those are your three big predictions.
Those are my three big predictions.
All right, I'll give you three predictions. I'm not going to give you weak ones like saying it's going to be Program Camille, which is pretty safe to lock in, I think. Let's see. We still have 3 minutes. I thought this was the regular timer. I'm gonna give some hard ones. Okay, there's a bunch of Jin skins. What Jin skin do I think they're gonna use? I think they're gonna use High Noon Jinx. I think Bondi uses High Noon Jinx.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Graves is gonna be Crime City,
Okay.
formerly known as Mafia Graves, and I think Thresh is going to use Deep Sea Thresh.
I was thinking that as well, but I just wanted to throw three
Deep
out.
Sea?
Yeah, I was thinking Deep Sea as well.
Okay.
So I'll back you
let's
on
see.
that one.
There's no Jinx in this game.
I believe he meant Jin.
Did I say Jinx?
You did say Jinx, but
You heard me
Jinx,
wrong. I
Jin.
said Jin.
See that door mark?
So it's going to be a High Noon Jin. Don't tell me what I said.
Yeah, are there any?
Now?
I wonder if there's any skin duos you can make. Any partnerings that could happen in these games?
High Noon Ashe Thresh is possible.
Okay.
I know that.
Could have. I think there's Riot Graves and Riot Blitzcrank.
Yes, good call. Riot Graves, Riot Blitzcrank. Yep.
Is there a Project Azir skin?
No, there's not. Although that would be super cool if like Project Azir like just summoned like robot Azirs.
That
That'd
would be pretty
sick.
cool. All right, Riot. We're open. Send your resumes to us.
Yeah.
We'll let you know. We'll get back to you, Riot.
Yeah, Riot. Where's the program Azir skin? All right, so a minute and a half before we start loading in. Looking at these comps, think again the scaling goes a little bit towards Glue Eaters on the blue side here. I also think that something interesting to think about their composition is the Blitzcrank. Right, Blitzcrank is one of those champions that even if you are behind, just having him is sort of like this aura or buff that your team gets that anything is possible. Right? One good Blitzcrank hook later in the game is often enough to end the game. So that's always that sort of like intangible maybe kind of thing. And I think that the Azir, the Camille all scale really well. Graves and Jin scale pretty well too. On the side of Titan Gaming, that AP Shyvana can one-shot someone. And Glue Eaters doesn't really have any tanky boys or girls.
This is true. Camille kind of gets health items, but no true tank whatsoever. Just a lot of damage.
So in the last 10 seconds, in terms of the comps themselves, we talked about Glue Eaters having a little bit more of a scaling composition than Titan Gaming, but in general, who do you think has the overall advantage with the teams they've drafted?
I really like Titan Gaming's. Lots of CC. Ashe ult, Malzahar ult, Maokai is just a CC machine. Thresh offers a lot, and oof. I don't think I got a single one.
Mine didn't load yet. But
I got one.
Got Crime City Graves. Let's go.
I got Maokai.
Oh, nice.
I'll go
we're
one for
both
three.
1 for 1.
1 for 3,
All right.
yeah.
Tied.
Beautiful.
Now we gotta hope that Titan Gaming wins so we can tie break game 3.
Yeah, true.
Cosmic Queen Ashe, decent Ashe skin. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think Titan Gaming's comp is definitely better here. It's also much easier to execute. A lot of CC. A lot of fairly easy CC to pull off too. Maokai and Malzahar, point and click CC. Ashe, yeah, sometimes it's harder to hit Ashe ults, but later in the game when you're 5v5 team fighting, it's not that hard to hit someone with an Ashe ult, to be honest. And then Thresh hooks, yeah, they're kind of tricky in lane, but later on in the game, if you're in a fight, it's easy to use Thresh hook as secondary CC, right? So Ashe ults someone, then Thresh hooks them. Maokai W's someone, then Thresh hooks them. Malzahar ults someone, then Thresh hooks them. So I think their comp is easier to execute. It's a lot more reliable. It doesn't scale poorly by any stretch of the imagination. So I do think draft edge goes a little bit in the favor of Titan Gaming. But of course, there are still players behind these champions. We're not running simulated games. So there's always room for error. There's always room for someone popping off or playing out of their mind.
Yeah, we're not running simulated games.
No, of course not. These are not scripted at all.
Not.
No, we don't run a huge illicit betting operation as well.
No.
Huge power play for Acid Step, having 170,000 mastery points, but refusing to upgrade beyond level 5. That is
Wow.
amazing stuff.
Let's see
Tabai
if
and
those points
Maokai
come out.
infinite value. Yeah, that's right.
I would have to agree with that as well. M5
Maokai.
Leonidas. I'm interested to see if
Yeah.
we see any cheese come out with this Blitzcrank pull, with this Grick. Oh my goodness, I apologize. English is a tough language. With this
honestly,
Blitzcrank pick. Wow, try saying that 5 times fast. I'm sure it's easy. But both teams pretty good CC, and I think we're seeing an invade coming out from Glue Eaters.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm playing Blitzcrank, I'm going. I don't even care if my team comes with me. I'm trying to get a level 1 hook. So it does seem like, thankfully for Vizzy, the rest of Glue Eaters have decided to come with him. And Ashe, a flash from Blitzcrank. All right, Immediately worth Blitzcrank is knows what happened. Arthur Dent, Blitzcrank pinging out his own flash. It does have Hex Flash, so it's not huge nightmare, but that's pretty bad. It sucks if you're busy. It feels bad. So and here comes the Hex Flash just to show that he can. Saying hello to the stream, flashing his mastery. So Blitz goes for the go big or go home play. Flashes forward, trying to hit the Ash. Forces the Ash flash. So that's, because Blitzcrank has Hex Flash, we're going to call that worth. Happy Cloud gets an early ward, but takes a little bit of damage for it.
Ooh.
Shyvana having that sweeper means they're going to kill that ward. So I think Blitzcrank is probably happy with that, considering the carry on the immobile Ash doesn't have flash anymore, but also at the same time, Blitz doesn't have that flash to try to make a play in lane. So neither one of them are going to be particularly happy. Oh, scene change. We got the scene.
Yeah.
Darkly Lorik says, hi, Bigfoot. Hi,
There was
Darkly.
some damage coming out here. Nice trade. Nice trade. Very cute. Not as cute as Kog'Maw in the last game, but still pretty cute.
Oh my god, how cute is Arcanist Kog'Maw, though?
Yeah, if you thought we weren't going to talk about Kog'Maw because he wasn't in the game, you thought incorrect.
You're very wrong. Man, it was a cute. He had a little book. Little big mouth, big smile, cute little back. Adorable. So everything going pretty regular here. Azir, interestingly enough, with the Electrocute, we've seen some Azirs play Electrocute. Azir's a very interesting champion in the sense that there are like 5 different runes that he could reliably go. Depending on the situation, Azir can go Hail of Blades, he can go Lethal Tempo, he can go Electrocute, he can go Arcane Comet. I suppose... I don't think he could go Phase Rush, but I suppose that would probably be the next best one. But of all those summoners, not summoners, runes and keystones, there are some slight advantages and disadvantages to each. Having the Electrocute shows that he's gonna try to be kind of more aggressive in lane, similar to the way that Hail of Blades or Arcane Comet work, where you're gonna try to get out some chunk damage off on your laner and in skirmishes and fights. Whereas Lethal Tempo tends to be the rune you go where you're trying to scale and 1v9 later. Which this Electrocute, actually, I don't love here because he's the bulk of the late game damage for Glue Eaters. And yeah, it's going to be pretty oppressive in lane early like we see here. But eventually Malzahar is just going to be able to shove the lane and leave. And later on, Azir's probably going to want that Lethal Tempo because if the game goes real late, he's going to have to be doing all the damage on the side of the Glue Eaters.
Absolutely. We see a game coming out.
Yes, this is a best of 3. This is game 2. Glue Eaters have one, which is the blue team, have won game 1. So a gank from Graves. We have seen fight going on in the bottom. Ashe with that slow on her auto attack is going to keep Vizzy stuck pretty far back. Thresh is going to miss the hook, but I don't think it's going to matter because Shyvana's down here and gets the first blood for her efforts. A nice early gank from Shyvana, who tends to be a power farming jungler, kind of comes out from behind the curtain there in the bot lane, but a return to gank from Titan on the Glue Eaters onto this Malzahar is going to force the flash out of this mid laner on Acid Step. Doesn't get the kill, but exerts the pressure and can, re-gank knowing that Malzahar does not have flash anymore.
Yes.
So first blood over to the side of Titan Gaming.
Yeah, Titan
They're
getting
pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Titan getting the first blood. Titan Gaming getting the first blood. Titan, the jungler, however, getting the flash out of Maokai and Malzahar with some very good ganks. So,
Yeah.
winning in the bot lane.
I mean, already this game is off to the same kind of tempo that we saw last game, right? Where both junglers are looking to impact the map early. They're trying to accelerate this game, although it seems like almost a dozen has decided to move some of his attention down bottom, and we don't see 2 junglers camping mid over and over for the first 8 minutes of the game. Oh, Graves is still doing it. Azir with an interesting early back. Love Double Doran's Fairy Charm on Azir, to be honest with you.
Just going to be able to spam those abilities. See Thresh up in the middle lane, getting some vision down, going towards Dragon.
So Happy Cloud is the mid laner of Glue Eaters, and I'm also a mid laner, and I've spent a decent amount of time talking to him about mid lane, though he is quite a bit better than I am. But mid lane is really, in this meta, a 2v2 with the junglers, and at higher ELOs, we see a hook from
Instant
Blitz
flash.
and a follow-up. Yeah, instant flash. I mean, he absolutely had to do that.
Yeah.
It was a nice reaction from Brando, but good hook from Blitz, nice follow-up from Bondi, and that's the goal of this Jhin Blitzcrank lane, right? Blitz hooks, Jhin W's, then they just pound on him for a while.
Mm-hmm. We have
one of the things that... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, we have an excellent question coming out here from M5 Leonidas. Why is Shiv going AD versus Grit Passive Graves Pepe hands? And
that's a great question.
Yeah.
Also, has Dark Harvest blown away that they have that? I mean, okay, maybe. No, I mean they're not. Why would they go Nashers?
Yeah,
they're gonna go AD. I don't love that. You're right. I agree with you. Nice hook from
trading
Thresh
some
here.
hooks.
It's gonna do quite a bit of damage on Blitz, but Blitz also answers back, and here's Jhin doing quite a bit of damage, but here's
Shyvana
Shiv,
comes in.
ults forward, unfortunately does not have any AP, although Happy Cloud is going to shuffle this Malzahar into the tower, and I think this is a dead Malzahar. He doesn't have flash from that earlier gank, although Azir is taking quite a bit of damage from these little Voidlings. If Malzahar had any mana, I'm pretty sure Azir dies there. A nice turn for Malzahar. Azir showing that, yeah, I can do a little bit of damage early. And when I hit 6, you better watch out, because I can shuffle you in a tower if you push too far up. But Malzahar is always going to be pushed pretty far up.
Yeah.
But
no one
gets out of that.
No one dying in either of those skirmishes.
Yeah.
Just, for me, unfortunate. For both of these teams,
Oh,
very well.
no,
Oh, another
that's
beautiful
a dead
hook.
Thresh. There's no way that Thresh
Stays alive for
but he
so
hooks to
long.
stay a little bit. Well, that's about as well as he can play that after the fact, but unfortunately, Thresh does get hooked.
No kidding. Wow.
Just double checked. Ashe is running approach velocity this game, which means that if she does get some auto attacks on someone, they can chase them far down the lane, which means that when they're that far down the lane anyway, it doesn't really do a lot, because if you go a little bit farther, you're under their tower. So Blitzcrank is super happy getting pushed in, actually, because then they can try to make plays like you just saw. I think this Ashe and this Thresh should start keeping this lane a little bit further on their side. They have some opportunities to try to freeze this lane, which is what they really want to do. Malzahar with his Lost Chapter means that he can just perma-push waves now. That part of mid lane, the laning phase is over for Malzahar now. He just hits, EW a bunch, and then, chills. Maybe throws a Q. Tries to set up an ult with their jungler.
Yeah, basically just playing an auto farming game at this point for him. On the top lane, a lot slower of a game for Arthur Dent, although we do see gank coming out here. Maokai could be falling here. Looks like he should be. Who's it going over to? It goes over to Titan.
Titan gets the gold, but at the same time, Acid Step getting ganked here by the Blitzcrank. In this kill, they're going to give it a Azir, a smart donation, and Glue Eaters picking up kills in both solo lanes with the help of Titan and Vizzy. Although this is going to be a hook from Thresh landing as Shiv ults over the wall. A really nice return kill there. Great play. I don't think that was warded at all. I think that was a blind hook.
Wow.
It might not have been a blind hook because Shiv ulted over, but a really nicely timed and smart game sense from Shyvana and Thresh.
Yeah, both of these supports.
I'm seeing in the chat.
Yep, go on.
Sorry. I was going to say, I'm seeing in the chat that Shyvana sometimes builds Nashor's Tooth to clear a little bit faster, which makes a lot of sense, because I do think that going Dark Harvest with AD is a little troll. So it does seem like she did pick up that Runic Echoes and is now going towards that Stinger. So makes a lot more sense to me.
Okay.
I'm happy with that. That I'm no longer tilted. I just don't think I've seen a ship. Well, I don't see a lot of ship jungle anyway, but I didn't think I've seen one build Nashers first. Or at least I didn't notice that they started Double Dagger. But makes sense. Helps out her clear, and Shiv does want to farm really hard. Did pick up one thing we didn't touch on is
Ooh, nice
Titan
dodge.
Gaming picked up a very early dragon.
Yes, and I think it's Shyvana soloed it, actually, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just why we were talking about actually her build. In fact, ooh, something that I have just noticed, end up in the top lane while kills are not being handed over to Arthur Dent. He is accruing quite the CS lead. Ghost popped by Malzabar here. Forces the flash. Ashe seems like she's a little caught out. Has to force the heal and the flash. Malzahar
Graves on the back loops around and kills the Ashe.
Yeah,
although
definitely.
I don't think he's
he
very
looks a little caught out.
Shyvana misses the E, but I don't think it matters.
Not long for this world at all. Does a lot of damage on his way out. Oh, yeah, Shyvana almost falling. Jhin, yeah. These are just some scrappy fights.
1 for 1. Yeah, I didn't check. I didn't see the pathing. I don't know how Graves got on the enemy team's blue buff, but he kind of came out of nowhere and just popped the Ashe, and that's gotta feel bad. That fight starting with Ashe burning Jin's flash, and Jhin has no summoners now, so I wonder if she's gonna come back down and try to sort of punish that a little bit more. Especially now that Ashe's ult is gonna be up. Oh no! A stun and a hook is gonna be a dead Ashe again, and that's not very fun. TG Boom not having a great time.
Yeah, Ashe's summoners were both blown whenever she was trying to get away from Graves and wasn't able to. Looks like Glue Eater's gonna be able to pick up their first dragon.
Yeah, what looked like another dragon for Titan Gaming ended up being Glue Eaters as Boom gets picked off, and Maokai just kills Arthur Dent in the 1v1 under tower.
Quite the difference from last game.
Blackpack says, "Where's your Wukong now?"
You dive me
also
last
has a bramble vest, which is brutal. Like that sucks to fight into as Camille that early. They're picking up Camille's teleport. Wonder what Camille's gonna do. Oh, and they're pinging. Okay, so they're pinging a ward deep. They're pinging a pink ward towards Titan Gaming. Yep. So we see Camille trying to flank with that TP. I think Malzahar has seen it. Oh no, he's staying. He's trying it back. He doesn't see it. Camille comes in for the wings. Ease forward, ults, and now he's stuck in the cage as Graves comes in. A great play setup, but at the same time, Malzahar ults a Happy Cloud under tower, and with the help of almost a dozen, trades back another kill in the other solo lane. So as Flakpack dies in the top lane, so does Happy Cloud in the mid lane. And both teams are going to be okay with getting that 300 gold into someone who needs it. Shyvana 3-0, Graves 3-1. Both junglers, quite a bit of gold. Want to harp a little bit more on how nicely that play was set up by Glue Eaters. They ping Camille's teleport. They say, hey, we got a pink ward deep in their jungle, in their try. Maokai is probably going to want to back, but he doesn't have ult. He just used it to dive. So let's take this opportunity to try to gank him. So Graves pats up. Camille TP's in. Camille E's. Camille ults. And then he's just stuck in the cage. And Graves could just, you know, do whatever he wants. But a nice return gank with the Malzahar ult kills Azir in the mid lane. And they get that mid tower, which is huge. Okay? Glue Eaters gets first tower in the top lane. That's great. But Titan Gaming gets the mid tower, which is the most important outer turret to take. And now they can get a ton of priority, especially with a champion like Malzahar who can push really far. Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh no.
That's the power of this combo right here. Able to pick up the kill there. Shyvana kind of waiting in the reins. Decides to back. Thresh throws out an empty threat hook.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Just, yeah, he's.
I mean,
just,
Shiv's there and has.
a beautiful
no, another
pull.
hook. But Shiv comes in.
Is it enough?
Thresh falls a little bit low, but Blitz is out of mana. Bondi doing his best to auto the Shiv, but it doesn't seem like it's hurting very much.
Looks like
Shiv
they're gonna try and trade
another hook from Thresh, and the ult is gonna be a double kill for the Shyvana, almost certainly. Can Jhin get a return kill? He can't. The lantern is up, and 2 kills again over to the side of Shyvana, who is so fed now.
Oh my.
Sitting on 3,600 gold that she's gonna back with right now.
Oh my. Last game, it was all about Arthur Dent. This game, almost a dozen. So much gold. Finishes the Rabadons at 15 minutes.
Okay. Let me hit you with some statistics. Statistic number 1. of the 10 players playing in this game, the player who has been highest ranked in any season is Almost a Dozen. Okay? Fact number 2. Almost a Dozen has 2,000 gold in this game, more than any other player. Let's see what he does with it.
I am excited.
I believe I'm like 99% sure that that he's the highest rank, because Almost a Dozen at one point was Masters in the past, and I don't think anyone else here has been higher than D1. But I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, balls in his court. That second line of Rabadons is a statement pick. So we see, did Ash pick first,
another
or did they
pick.
pick this lane in response to the...
Wow.
Oh my
Just
God.
gone. Obliterated.
He's so big. He's so big.
And this is what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go on.
Sorry, no. So someone asked in the chat, Ash ult goes wide, although I think Bondi is just...
Yeah, there he goes.
Oh my
On the bottom
God.
cusp of the circle.
Let's do a quick Dark Harvest stack check. Sitting at 9 right now at 16 minutes. So averaging a Dark Harvest stack roughly every 2 minutes. That's going to be pretty nice for Almost a Dozen. Someone in the chat asked, was Ash picked? We see Ash heal going down. It looks like there's a fight going down here as Graves, a nice little play from the Ash, gets out with the Thresh Lantern, but I may have spoken too soon. Malzahar comes down to help, but Blitz is here. Blitz flashes, picks up the Ash, and just kills her himself. Says, I got this, but also dies.
Spam some
TP
question
from
marks.
Maokai means that 4 members are down here. They may want to dive. Camille is going to ult Acid Step, who's going to have to run away to get away from the tower, but is still going to die no matter what, as Azir finishes him off. He was quite low. Ults Arthur Dent to try to stop him from doing anything, but it doesn't matter. Titan clears the ward and gets the hell out of dodge because he's got like 10 HP. Happy Cloud also not super healthy, but does have a pot ticking, I believe. So Glue Eaters now,
cheeky ult. It stays in the bush so they can't see, so if they come up...
All right.
I liked the thought behind that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nothing was able to come of it, but it was a really nice thought. I wish something could have happened.
Yeah, that was cute. So like we saw last game, it is going to be an Ocean Soul, which is going to be huge for either team, as it is the most broken soul in the game. Oh, a nice hook from Thresh. Hooks the Blitzcrank. Chunks him down a half with a Shyvana E. Now both teams are posturing around this dragon. And I know that someone asked a question in chat, and I promise I will get to it in a second, but there has just been so much action that I can't get to it. Seems like there's a bit of a lull, but it does feel quite tense. As both teams are posturing around this dragon, it looks like Glue Eaters are going to be able to take it fairly uncontested, but no, here comes Thresh and Malzahar. Ash ult onto the Azir, has to flash away from the Thresh hook, and the Malzahar ult goes onto the Jhin. Blitzcrank has the Zonias to get out of there, but the dragon does go over to the side of Glue Eaters, but at what cost? Azir has died. Blitzcrank has died. Graves E's out, but falls to the Shyvana E, who is
from downtown.
Enormous. Let me again restate how ungodly fed this Shyvana jungle is right now.
She's sitting
on 2,200 gold, sitting on 12 Dark Harvest stacks, 8-0-4, almost a dozen. The game is in his hands. Ball is in his court. He's got the rock. And he's making it work.
So much gold. Oh my goodness. And until that dragon fight, the game was fairly close. It was 9-10. They were only down like 900 gold, Glue Eaters. And that dragon fight just massive momentum swing in favor of Titan Gaming. The Shyvana, terrifying. That is not someone you want to meet in a back alley.
Yeah, and here comes a fight. Camille is trying to fight this Maokai, but I didn't think he realized that Acid Step was right there.
Yeah, able to get out pretty easily.
Yeah. Camille's pretty tricky.
Arthur
Dent has played a couple of cheeky champions. Wukong, pretty cute. Can get away. Juke some stuff. Camille with her E. Once the cooling gets slowing up.
Oh, no.
Blackpack, kind of alone here. W's to the Azir.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
And he's going to die for his sins. A Happy Cloud shuffles Maokai over the wall. Immediately gets blown the hell up. Blitzcrank misses the hook. Blackpack dies, but here comes Malzahar ulting the Jhin. Jhin is so low. Thresh hook misses, but the Ashe W lands. But Camille over the wall is going to get this Ashe low. Flash to secure the kill, but Jhin opens up his ult, and there were 3 low members of the Glue Eaters. Blitzcrank hits the hook and a double kill, goes over to the Camille, and that ends up being a 1-for-4 in favor of Glue Eaters that started with what I thought was certain tragedy, but ended up working out in their favor. And I think Happy Cloud got what he deserved, right? It was a nice map movement from Glue Eaters, but Happy Cloud messed up, and he dies for it. And he deserved that. But the rest of his team cleans up.
Yeah, almost a dozen taken out at the beginning of that fight. Ulted, able to get a large amount of damage out with her Dragonfire, but does ultimately fall. And I think that's probably where Titan Gaming lost that fight. Was as soon as they see the Shyvana fall, I think it's like, oh, we got to get out. Yeah. You know, Azir pushed us to safety. Like, count your blessings and get out.
That's a classic mistake that some teams can make too, right? When you're playing a game and you're like, we're so ahead. Our teammate is so fed. We got this. And then you start fighting, and then that teammate dies, but your brain keeps saying, we're ahead. We got this. We're super fed. But then you're like, oh no, wait, all of our gold is on this person who's dead. We actually can't do anything right now. And that's reflected if you look, the gold's dead even.
It's dead even.
Shyvana is the strongest person in the game by far, but the gold's dead even.
Blue Eaters are ahead.
5 times.
They're up
Blue
to...
Eaters are actually ahead. Yeah.
It's like... Yeah. Shyvana is crazy strong, but both teams are tied in gold.
Yeah, and Shyvana has 10,000 of their gold. That's 3,000 more than any other person on the team. Once Shyvana dies, the gold lead swings drastically in favor of Blue
heavily.
Eaters.
Oh, flash forward from the Blitzcrank. Gets caught out. Malzahar comes down.
He's taking turret shots from Malzahar ult to
Camille.
Maokai W the Q. I always confuse.
But on the other side of the map.
At the same time. Okay, all right.
Camille teleporting.
And they're going to leave. Yep, Camille knows this is happening. Although, can Camille 1v3? I don't think so. Oh, messes up the E a little bit, and the ship's going to go forward.
Oh,
the
no.
It's going to kill him. A
more gold.
Rare micro mistake from Arthur Dent. Nets a free kill, and they might turn back to this Baron.
Almost a dozen. Gets the shutdown gold. So just funneling more gold onto this already crazy fed Dragon Lady. And they start Baron back up again.
And now they're going to start this Baron.
Jhin
opens up his ult, but none of them are that low. Thresh is going to be pretty happy to tank these, as is Maokai, and the teleport from Acid Step is going to come in, who immediately has to run, but he's just buying time. And the Thresh hooks the Graves, and they kill the enemy jungler. This is going to be a 100% guaranteed Baron, as long as Shyvana doesn't mess up the smite, which the way she's been playing this game, I don't think she will. Picks up a 11th kill, a 12th kill, Nope, never mind. Man, you know what? I really had a full head of steam going. I was so ready, and then Maokai was like,
report Maokai. Like, come on.
For real, though. Titan Gaming making this a series with the Baron, almost a dozen. I am terrified. Even if they lose this game, which I'm not so sure they're going to, I am terrified to look at the damage charts at the end of this game.
I'm going to have nightmares of this Shyvana, and I'm not even in the game. Like, this is terrifying.
That's a big girl.
She's
Ezreal is at home living it up right now. He's really enjoying watching it.
Ezreal and Shyvana thing?
There was like some Reddit thread or something like a year or two ago.
I remember that. Okay.
Like,
yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
To go back to the question asked in chat, which feels like a half hour ago, now that there's a lull. Someone asked, was Jhin or Ashe picked first? So for the people who weren't here in draft, Graves was first picked by Glue Eaters. Then Titan Gaming answered with Shyvana Ashe. Then Glue Eaters answered with Jhin Blitzcrank, which was then finalized in that first round of picks with the Thresh. So Jhin was picked without a support, then Ashe Thresh, Ashe was picked without a support, then Jhin Blitz came through, then Thresh was picked. So hopefully that helps you. Triggered at first item, Storm Razor on Jhin. Yeah, that should be an Infinity, I think. I think that's fair.
I mean, at this point, neither of those items are going to help you survive against the Shyvana.
No, I think that's fair. Neither one of those are a Hex Trigger or a Zonius.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what to do.
Oh.
Let's crank Wing forward, although Shyvana has enough. Oh, but
Pulls in the Maokai.
maybe not the target you wanted. Ash comes in. The Maokai's
Oh,
still
man.
alive. A suppress out of the Camille is going to
So
kill the
much
Camille.
damage.
Maokai's going to die, but it doesn't matter. Havoc being wreaked by Titan Gaming into the backline. Blitzcrank is basically dead. Never mind, he is completely dead, as is the Azir, and they might just push to win. They have Baron,
That could be game.
They have Shyvana, they have Ash. That's going to be a game. The GG
That
well played
should be
come out.
game.
And game 2 over to Titan Gaming with a dominant, insane Shyvana jungle performance.
Yeah, they almost a dozen says, "I will not go gently into that sweet night. I will go
Reigns
on to
gets a
game
return
2."
kill out of the Malzahar though.
But
yeah,
oh, beautiful.
unreal.
I would
Alright,
like.
let's
I would
take
like
a look at
to,
these damage.
I would like to congratulate all of us who got to witness this game because it was beautiful. It was magnificent. Absolutely.
Ain't that
phenomenal.
some shit?
All right.
Yeah,
Check
I
out
mean,
that graph.
It's a lot for a 26-minute game. 22,000 damage. That's about 1,000 damage a minute. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. I will say the amount of damage Maokai did, very surprising to me.
Dude, Maokai is criminally underrated.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage coming out from just like I'm pretty sure he built pure tank with like maybe a Sunfire.
Yeah, Maokai does a
just
lot.
the bomb
'cause
he sent
he just sits in there and lives, and then just ticks a bunch of damage. And also, like his Q does a surprising amount of damage. And if his ult hits a bunch of people, that's more damage. Like, and he's scrapping a lot in lane. That's
That's true. Example points
the
out the
Bramble
Bramble. Yeah,
yeah,
makes
Bramble too.
sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
Maokai. But I think Maokai is like. I think Maokai is one of the stronger top laners, and I think that. Hang on, let me invite you. Sorry.
I have an invite. It just says
You
that
got it,
the
great.
lobby's full,
I think
so I cannot
it
join
shouldn't
at
be
the
full
moment.
now. Wait, hang on. Let me. Hey, vote for me in the best player poll for the season. Polling has ended, but if you want, sure.
Yeah, in spirit, I will vote for you 19 steps.
But yeah, I think Maokai's really strong. Does quite a bit of damage for a tank. Gets to build a lot of nice items. Okay, you're in. Great, we did it. Whew. So, rubber match, game 3.
Oh boy.
So Glue Eaters gets to pick the side. It seems like, yep, so they have picked red side. So clearly, one of the things that we've seen in our playoffs is that red side seems to be the priority side for the CEO League. And that makes a lot of sense to me. I think in a world where there are so many strong picks and only 3 bans get to go through for each team, being able to pick 2 is better than 1.
Very true indeed.
Yeah, I doubt Titan Gaming gets Shyvana again too, but almost it doesn't. What a damn game that was.
Do we expect to see the Shyvana ban, or do you think there was a?
I don't know. Again, like so they ended up banning the Wukong like game 1.
True.
In the second rotation, so maybe if jungle hasn't been picked yet, they'll ban it if they have, an extra ban. I don't know if it merits one of those top 3 bans, right? Like, yes, it popped the hell off. Yes, it carried the game. Yeah, it did the most damage. Yeah, it was such a huge reason as to why they won that game. But at the same time, I don't think it was the pick itself, right? It was the way that Almost Doesn't piloted it. So I don't think that it was the pick itself. I think it was just a game that Almost It Doesn't popped off. It was less of a game that Shyvana got really fed, and more of a game that Almost It Doesn't got really fed. I think if he was playing Graves, I think if he was playing Nidalee, he could have done somewhat similar things, right? He's one of the most talented players that we have in our league. I think he topped the power rankings for junglers in the CEO League. So, it's a a tough sort of pick ban. way to play. And I don't know if the Shyvana merits a game one or a round one ban. I think also at the same time, Shyvana is a champion that can get shut down really hard. I think it's snowballed, and that's one of the pros of that champion, that if it starts snowballing, it just does insane amounts of damage. I didn't check how many Dark Harvest decks it had at the end of the game, but it was probably over 20.
Probably.
But you can prevent that. So, I don't know. Some people in the chat saying Echo is more reliable than Shiv. I think Echo Jungle is, like, okay. I think it's a little bit of a bait. I don't think it's bad, but yeah, it's clear is kind of trash. I think its CC is like somewhat inconsistent on ganks. I think in team fights it's a lot easier in the chaos to land a good stun, but it's obviously Shyvana doesn't have CC. I'm not comparing Echo to Shyvana. I'm just saying that Echo, I don't think it's, I don't know. I think if you're playing an AP jungler, I'd rather have Nidalee. I'd rather even have Elise maybe than Echo.
Very, very true. Coming in, for any new viewers that we might have, Game 3 of this semifinal series between Titan Gaming and Glue Eaters. Very dominant games from each of these teams and the ones that they won. It seems that whomever is able to pull off the early snowball is really able to just force the other team to submit to them. And really able to just claim victory.
And I think and we talked about this before the game, but I want to double down on it now that the game is already had and I have the benefit of hindsight. Titan Gaming's draft was so good.
It was very good.
It had Shyvana, we talked about how much CC it had, and Shyvana doesn't even have CC, and that's who carried, right? It was enabled by the players around it. They had Ash Arrow. They had Malzahar ult. They had Thresh hooks. They had so many ways to lock people down and pick people off. And once Shyvana got rolling, the second someone got hit by CC, they exploded. And even though Glue Eaters drafted a really great scaling comp, all that CC and that snowball meant that they never got to scale. Yeah, Azir is insane if you get 3 or 4 items and can start whacking on someone for a while, but it doesn't matter if your game ended 10 minutes ago. So I think sort of, back to basics, back to fundamentals, early mid-game comps with a lot of CC and some snowball potential could be really strong for both of these teams, because they seem like they have good enough macro, good enough coordination to pull it off. And whoever starts the snowball so far has won the snowball. And in game 1 it was Arthur Dent. Game 2 was almost a dozen. So let's see what happens.
Very
it seems like we have. Seems like some people in the game are taking a quick break. So, in fact, I'm going to take 30 seconds to run to the bathroom. So you have chat all to yourself.
Okay. Well, chat, what shall we talk about? Shall we talk about bathrooms? Shall we talk about League of Legends? I think what we can do during this moment is post our favorite copy pasta. It can be about anything in the world. Just let's post our favorite copy pastas. I will post my favorite copy pasta. I just need to go grab it. For anyone who is not a part of the Discord, the Low Budget LCS has a Discord. In this Discord, we have a text chat for copy pastas, which is where I will be grabbing mine.
And we're back.
We are.
Talk about the lack of hype music in draft. So an interesting question: is there no ELO restrictions? So I think we still have some. So first of all, it seems like we still have a decent amount of residual viewers from Risen League. So first of all, thank you for sticking around. We appreciate the viewership. We have a couple of questions in the chat, so I will answer them while we get into Game 2 draft. Talk about the lack of hype music in draft. One of the things that we have been working on, which unfortunately I don't think we got we've gotten it partially done, but not a ton done for this split. This is our third split of the league, so we've been sort of incremental improvements each each split. But so this split, we now have all of these, in terms of audio, we have all these sound alerts that we've created for these playoffs. So each team that made it to playoffs has their own unique sound alert that you can play with bits. So that's one of the things that we've been working on. I think one of the big pushes that we're going to be working on in the future is having music and cues before games, in between games, and things like that. So I myself have submitted some music. It's also kind of tough to find like royalty-free music that is good and cool. I mean, there's plenty of it, but it's not perfect. So a couple of the admins are musicians, so a couple of us have kind of been putting together a couple of musical things, and I think that's an avenue that we're going to be exploring in the future. And as we see in this draft very quickly, they do ban that Shyvana, so they adjust their bans a little bit, and that does get a first-round ban. So good on almost a dozen for drawing 2 bans in the first round. Oh, another question: is there a no ELO restriction? Why is a D2 on the same team with a gold 2? So, a lot of leagues that I've seen do, ELO locked leagues. So like, we have a bronze silver league, we have a gold plat league, we have a diamond and above league. We do it on a point system where each team in each league, depending on the league you're in, is allowed X amount of points of players, right? And each rank is worth a certain amount of points. So the lowest league, you can't have any diamonds, which is our economy league. So the highest you can have 1 platinum, but the way the points work out, you need to have a silver somewhere in there to get a platinum in your lowest team. So there is sort of a no, we don't, Bigfoot. We don't what? What don't we?
We just don't.
We changed it for season 3. Oh, we don't have the point system anymore. We just have the. Oh, it's pulled back from the point system, but it's still. It's like a more informal point system because you have to have some. Yeah, it's more. Yeah, so someone you don't know is explaining it much better than I did, so I apologize. But there are conditional ranked restrictions. So like we have done it in point system in the past, but like so it's more, instead of adding up all your points, it's now like if you have 1 plot, you need a bronze. And then in Executive League, you can have 1 diamond, 2 plats, and 2 golds, or you can play around with that a little bit. That's like the way you max out an Executive League team. And then CEO can just have as many diamonds as you want, I believe. So they're explaining it much better in the chat as I am, so you can just go off the chat. There are ELO restrictions, but they're, at the same time, for a gold player to play on a team like this, that's up to them, right? If you think about it, if it's a team full of diamonds and then they have a gold player, that's up to them. If they want to do that, that's up to them. So jumping back to draft really quick, Aphelios makes its way through on a Titan Gaming, one of the strongest ADCs. They get Thresh again. They do pick up the Nocturne, and they also pick up the Diana, which is interesting. Diana has been banned out in the past by Glue Eaters against Titan Gaming, so it does seem like Acid Step is picking up a power pick for him. In the quarterfinals, he popped the hell off on Diana. We were talking about gold players in CEO. He is the lowest ranked player in these 10 players in the game, but in the quarterfinals, he got Diana one game and he popped the hell. He hard carried Titan Gaming to a win. Gold players in a diamond game be damned. His Diana is filthy. So he gets his Diana. That's his bread and butter. So I'm interested to see what happens there. They rounded out with Shen, which is a great pick with Nocturne with Diana. On the other side, Glue Eaters pick up the Ashe Zyra themselves. Ton of CC, ton of pick. Rounded out with the Set, Rek'Sai, and Gangplank. Arthur Dent getting his Gangplank, a champion that he has popped off on in the regular season quite a bit. I don't think he's even been able to get it in the playoffs so far. No, he hasn't. So that's interesting to see him finally get it. Let's see what he does there. The Set is going mid. Okay. The Set, Happy Cloud, has played Set mid quite a bit in solo queue. I've spent a lot of conversations with him conversations with him about playing Set mid. His build is very interesting. I'm not going to talk about it yet because there is still, the delay is only a couple of minutes, so they could still be, setting runes and stuff like that. So I'm not going to talk exactly about what the build for set's going to look like until they get in a game, but the set is definitely going mid. The Rek'Sai in the jungle and the Gangplank top. So what do you think about these comps in general? Where do you think the advantages might be? Where do you think some of the disadvantages might be? Where do you think that win conditions exist for these two teams?
So, as far as I think I like Titan Gaming's comp again. I really like the Nocturne Shen combo. Just a lot of global presence from both of those champions. They have the Aphelios as a hyper carry for the late game. They have a Diana just split pushing crazy assassin that needs to be met with someone. Very much a big fan. Slightly less CC. I should say a significant less amount of CC from the last game. But looking over at Glue Eater's side, they have just about the same amount of CC. Ashe offers a little bit more utility in that regard, I believe. But I mean, I'm not sure how Rek'Sai does. I'm not very familiar with that champion in general. I know what the kit does, but I'm not sure like where pressures really as far as that goes. But the rest of the comp is just a lot of damage and pick potential. So Titan Gaming looks like they're going to want to be moving around the map a lot and kind of just pick up whatever they can wherever they can be. Glue Eaters looks like they have a very structured, okay, we need to grab someone, we need to pick someone, and we just want to kill them. We want to get to late game, we want to scale with this Gangplank, we want to scale with this Ashe, and try and do our best to do something. Gangplank kind of has a way to answer the global ability of Shen with his ultimate, so that's good. I like that a lot. And you've been hyping up this Gangplank on Arthur Dent, so I'm hyped to see just how good he is on this champion.
I mean, it's been banned every game. It's a surprisingly oppressive laning top laner that scales pretty well, and he's quite good at it. He didn't get to play in the quarterfinals because they got a bye, but in the semifinals here, it's been banned every game so far, and now he gets it. And I think that your analysis of the global pressure of it is smart, because they banned the Twisted Fate, which is like Acid Step's #1 champion, followed by Diana here. And they say, you know what? I don't care. Titan Gaming says you banned one great global champion or like long-range champion. We're going to pick Shen Nocturne. We're going to still be able to play that same kind of comp. Gangplank not only is Arthur Dent's one of his best champions, it also allows him to answer kind of when Shen leaves. He doesn't have any CC to stop or cancel Shen ult, but he does have a way to show up himself, even though it's more of like, I'm here supporting you in spirit. So Nocturne ult somewhere, Gangplank can ult. Shen ults on someone, Gangplank can ult. And then he can shove the lane and farm, which is what he does. But yeah, so like X-Ranger says, there is a lot on Arthur this game. Zyra Ashe, great pick champions, decent amount of damage. Ashe scales pretty well, but isn't a hyper carry. Set mid is going to be tanky, right? I know Happy Cloud. I know how he plays Set mid. He plays him tank. He plays him roaming. Rek'Sai can snowball early, but falls off. Gangplank is their damage later in the game. There is a lot of pressure on this Gangplank to carry. We're on the side of Titan Gaming. Nocturne can pick someone late game. Diana can wombo late game. Aphelios does an absolute ass ton of damage. I don't know. Let's see. Why is left side champs... Wait, what the hell?
What?
Left side champions, lowercase, right side, all caps. What in the world is happening? And it's not just the stream, it's happening on my client as well.
Yeah.
It's streaming from Xavier's client. So what you see on the stream is what he sees, but I see the same thing. So this is... Riot, what are you doing?
Small
cancel
indie
it,
company.
cancel it, call the whole thing off.
Just cancel LBLCS. Let's all go home.
One team
Good night,
is
everyone.
just screaming at us.
Yeah, they're hyped. I think Glue Eaters are just hyped. I think that's really what it comes down to. Titan Gaming want to play a controlled, calm game. Glue Eaters just want to scream at you.
Yeah. So, Mo Brown in the chat. Shout out to Mo Brown, by the way, who will be playing the winner of these two teams in the finals as the support for Solar Flare. Congratulations on your win yesterday. Says that he thinks Glue Eaters drafted 3 winning lanes. which I think is fair. Ashe Zyra has been a historically oppressive lane since like season 0. Gangplank, really great in a melee matchups. You can't really beat the crap out of him later. And he also has a way to stop Shen CC, so that's a nice lane there. I don't know how this set's going to fare in a Diana, as Acid Step is quite a good Diana, and Set's going to be building tanky, so he's probably going to get priority in that lane for a little bit, but even if he gets Bambi Cinder first and maxes E, like I know Happy Cloud does on Set, to push waves in roam, Diana has really good wave clear, and can also move pretty quickly. Yeah, so like X Ranger says, like Shen is also surprisingly decent in lane. You see him and you're like, oh, this is a tank. He's not, but he can be kind of abusive in lane. But I do still think Gangplank has the edge, although X Ranger is a diamond top laner and I don't play top. I don't think that either one of them have a huge lead though, right? Because Gangplank can just farm grasp stacks with his Q. And then he can, what's the W called? He can just eat an orange whenever he gets taunted. So Gangplank can just sort of sit and farm, stack up those grasp stacks, and then if Shen ever goes in on him, just have some citrus in his diet, and then just run away. Scurvy. Thank you. Remove scurvy. That's the way. Gangplank gets plenty of vitamin C.
All right, and something that I think we touched on a little bit last game, but didn't talk about this game, the skins.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we forgot to guess the goddamn skins.
Some good skins coming out here.
I'm done. I'm signing off. You can solo cast. Right. Ruined the most exciting part of the game.
Totally understand.
Ruined.
Yeah, I feel that.
But they're playing Black Frost Rek'Sai, and I'm right back in it because that is such a good skin.
I think my favorite skin is the Toy Soldier Gangplank in this game right now.
That's a good one.
It just looks so good. Reminds me of that Nutcracker Disney film.
Yeah. And the Coven Zyra Prestige Edition flex from Busy.
Ooh.
Marauder Ashe, I think, is an underrated Ashe skin, but still compared to some of the other Ashe skins, kind of ass skin, if you ask me. I think there are a lot of Ashe skins that are better, but I think Marauder is decent. Black Frost Rek'Sai, though. Let me talk a little bit about Black Frost Rek'Sai. I played, even though I'm a mid lane main for the last couple of seasons, I played jungle for like all of season 7, and I was a hardcore Rek'Sai main. Like 80% of my games were played on Rek'Sai. Love this champion. The second Black Frost came out, bought it in all of the chromas. I don't even play jungle anymore. I haven't played Rek'Sai this entire, I don't think I played Rek'Sai a single game in 2020. I don't give a crap. I love this skin the second I saw it. I was like, thank God. Because I don't really like Eternum. I think it's overrated. And I think Pool Party is garbage. Pool Party is a bad skin. So, Black Frost. That's all I'm saying. Anyway. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, back to the game. No, that was... Oh...
Yeah, X-Ranger agrees. Black Frost, Prestige, and Toy Soldier, big win. I think that's... I agree. Ooh.
I believe...
Waffles with the happy and Canadian sound.
Yeah, thank you for the Canadian of happiness. All right.
Good luck, have fun, guys. Been a great series so far. Yeah, 100%.
Very wholesome. I love it.
I am so grateful that I am lucky enough to have been... When we sort of like sorted out casters for these finals, we just sort of like talked about where people wanted to go. And I think all these games have been great, but I ended up drawing the CEO straw, which I was excited about because, it's a pretty hyped league. But this series in particular has so far, of all the quarterfinals, of all the semifinals, has been so exciting, so back and forth, so action-packed, and I hope beyond hope that Game 3 feels like Game 2 and Game 1.
Absolutely. Yeah, both teams seem to be completely content with just being bloody and going in and just fighting. And that makes me so happy. Ooh.
Acid Step, how dare you interrupt this man's workout? I hope they all die here. That was so BM. Almost forcing a flash, or forced to flash there. Happy Cloud just trying to get his sweat on in the mid lane. Just trying to get some quick warm-up crunches tighten up that core before the game starts. And Acid Step just throws a beam of moonlight at him. The audacity of
It's
Acid
true.
Step to do that.
Once he's
I'm
finished
glad
with his
that
crunches.
his teammate lost his flash because he didn't deserve it. Rude.
When will he learn that his actions have consequences?
Yeah, I hope it's this game.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm rooting for Glue Eaters now because that was very rude.
Uh-oh. Hopefully you don't caster curse him.
So Happy Cloud, I want to talk a little bit about the set mid.
Yeah.
He goes full tank. I've talked to him about it. He's tried to sell it to me. I hate it, but not because it's bad, because I am bad at it, and because it's not very fun for me. But what he's going to do is he's going to go full tank. He's got Fleet Footwork for the lane sustain. He has this Doran Shield for the lane sustain. He is eventually going to early back, even though he's playing into an AP champion, he's going to early back for a Bomby Cinder and a Sunfire Cape, and he's going to max his E. He's going to walk up, he's going to E the lane, triggers his not Cinderhulk, sorry, his Sunfire Cape, which clears the backline and a bunch of the melees. Then, once he clears that wave, he's just going to do whatever the hell he pleases. He's going to go up top, he's going to go down bottom, he's going to go to the Dragon, he's going to go to the Rift Herald, and he's going to be there with his tankiness, with his CC, to help out his jungler and his laners. And Rek'Sai, being an excellent early game skirmishing jungler, pairs really well with this full tank set mid, which is a sentence I didn't expect to say tonight.
There were a lot of words that I knew were going to come up on this cast. Those were not the ones I thought would.
So remember how we were like, oh, never mind. Oh my god.
Does he get out? He gets out.
What? So remember how we were like, oh, I wonder what Arthur Dent's going to do on Gangplank. That's what Arthur Dent's going to do on Gangplank.
Oh my. And Shen was still level 2. If Shen had leveled up at all during that exchange. Oof.
Unreal how well he knew his limits there. That's actually insane.
Actually, I'm pretty sure.
To flash forward, to get taunted, I'm pretty sure his W is down. To know that he had the amount of damage to kill him, and heal up, and run away without dying is just...
I think he might have leveled up during that exchange, which I think gave him the health that he needed along with Triumph, if he's running that. He got a heal from somewhere, but that was crazy.
He's not, I
so
just
well
checked,
played.
He doesn't have Triumph.
He doesn't?
It might have been Grasp, like
it could have been
coming to him.
Oh my gosh.
But, so,
either way,
and I want to agree
beautiful
with that.
play.
Shen played that as well as he could have. Shen played that really well. Shen didn't like misplay. Shen did everything he could. He just couldn't stop it. Like that's all. Like that's all she wrote. You know.
Yeah.
Arthur Dent's Gangplank is just
oh my goodness! Look at. Oh my goodness! Is he getting another one? Oh, he almost does.
But almost. Shen's got no TP.
He's flexing on him.
No potions. He's got one ticking, but like he's gonna stay pretty low. And Arthur Dent is 1-0. Has a Cull and a Mana Crystal and a Corrupting Potion and a Biscuit.
A biscuit. Oh my gosh.
This is is up 13 farm already. And Happy Cloud also, Acid Step popped off on Diana in the quarterfinals. And Happy Cloud saying, yeah, your Diana's cute, but I'm full tank set, and you better watch it. Yeah, almost doesn't ganking Arthur Dead top. He does have his orange. Is going to remove Scurvy. Thank you, X-Ranger. And actually come out ahead in that trade. Acid Step back TP'd in and has a little bit of an advantage and goes for Happy Cloud, but Happy Cloud actually still trades back pretty well. Is running that exhaust. I know that he usually runs heal when he plays set mid, but I think he went for the exhaust for those 1v1s, which seemed smart and paid off right there. And doesn't die to Diana. X-Ranger says, yo, is this Bigfoot? I am Bigfoot. That is me. I want to do it with Bigfoot to hear his voice more. I want to do it with you so you can carry me out of gold. So I think we can probably both.
That sounds like a mutually beneficial system.
What we want.
Rek'Sai picking up the dragon here for Glue Eaters. Oh my gosh. No. Up 2 levels on the Shen. He's able to block it. Well done.
Gameplay Q acts as an auto attack. It applies on hit effects. So the Shen Aura, I also don't know what that ability is. I'm terrible with ability names. Blocks the Gangplank Q. So this shows me a couple of things, right? Oh, hang on. Almost a dozen ganking Arthur Dent. Arthur Dent's remove Scurvy should still be up, so he is. Oh no, he's dead. He's dead.
He's very dead.
Even if he removes that fear, Shen's still there.
Shen doing a wonderful job of keeping him so far up the lane.
Yeah.
Allowing Nocturne to come in for that gank.
Here's the thing. All of the things I've seen from Flag Pack so far shows me that he is a great Shen. He knows this champion. He understands the matchup. He's playing it well. He puts on his anti-auto attack zone for the gangplank Q. He plays that fight under tower really well. Despite that, Arthur Dent has a solo kill, almost a second one, and is up 30 farm on a late game scaling champion. This is pretty nice. Titan level 5, probably gonna hit 6 and try to gank somewhere. Kind of surprised that Titan hasn't shown up in too many lanes. Rek'Sai does have a decent clear, but is also known for their early ganks. Rek'Sai has an unbelievably strong level 3 gank on par with champions like Jarvan, who are known for being able to gank at level 3 pretty well. So surprised that Titan hasn't really gotten in the mix too much, but seems to be pretty content, farming up, getting towards 6. I think he's going to hit 6 on his path down bot side, so I wonder if he resets and goes to a lane, or he sticks around and tries to kill this Thresher Affiliate.
Yeah, and despite that hype solo kill up in the top lane early on and the Nocturne coming up, it's been a very slow game so far. Flash forward from Thresh, though. Ooh, Zyra able to stop that.
And the ult from Zyra, but here comes the Ashe ult. I don't know if it was necessary, but it buys some time for Titan to get here. Ashe might die, and here comes the Nocturne ult. This is going to be a 4v3 in favor of Titan Gaming, but here comes Set. Set's going to be punching frantically, but Titan is also trying to get a kill. Ults I don't know who he ulted. I think he ulted TG Boom, but it didn't matter. Flag Pack here ults in, pushing off that Set. That ends up being a 1-for-1?
1-for-1, I believe. Zyra for Nocturne?
Tell you what, though. Arthur Dent is up 50 farm.
Back to the top lane.
Arthur Dent is halfway to a... So, yeah, I don't even care who got those kills down there. Like, yeah, that was a great Nocturne up. Yeah, that was a great Shen ult. Yeah, that was an interesting Ashe arrow to buy some time for Titan to come in. Yeah, Titan ulted TG Boom to try to get an execute. Didn't work out. Yeah, all those great things in that team fight. Who gives a crap? Arthur Dent is up, is halfway to a Flame Horizon at 9.5 minutes on his signature champion. That is a scaling champion.
He's going to be a monster come mid and late game with the way that this game is going. But I will say what was going on in the bot lane there was exactly what I was expecting to have happen. Nocturne goes in, Shen ults on top of him as he's going in deep, and that's just the classic play.
Oh yeah, so Ashe. Okay, so it was a 2-for-2. Ashe also died.
Okay.
But I mean, they don't care. Are they, like, who cares? So one thing that's very interesting to me is that Arthur Dent was given he picked up the Herald, right? And normally, when Herald dies, the jungler picks up the Herald because they have the flexibility to move to a bunch of lanes to capitalize on an opportunity, drop a Herald when they see a low tower or some plates that they can get for a carry. But Arthur Dent gets it because they say, you know what, buddy, you're up 60 farm now. If you feel like an opportunity to drop the Rip Herald, do whatever you want.
Like right now. Right now.
Like
yeah.
right now. Like 10.5 minutes in, still... I mean, the second it charges up, there's only 1 plate left of that. He's gotten 4 plates. I need to check his gold. He is more than double Shen's gold.
Oh, excuse me. But I mean, that's kind of... Shen's kind of okay with that. He's not loving it, but I don't think Shen's crying in the corner, Like...
If I'm Shen, I'm crying. He has 3,200 more gold than Shen. I am weeping in the corner. I have mascara running down my face.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Nocturne able to pick up the dragon there.
Ooh, nice hook from Thresh to save TG Boom. But here comes Happy Cloud, who is ulting in. Is gonna get one, maybe two, mastery from the Thresh Splash as Set punches him right in the face for a second kill. Bondi, however, walks a little far up, and Diana Nocturne. Oh, a nice E from Happy Cloud stops Acid Step from going over with the Blast Cone. I don't think he has enough damage to kill him, but boy, was that nice. So Happy Cloud now is 3-0.
Yeah,
and
he's
Arthur
pretty
then
happy
has
with
decided
that.
mid lane is where he wants to go now. So, yeah, I mean, he's mid lane now.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is my farm. Look at me.
Yeah,
I am the captain.
This is my lane. This is my farm. This will be my tower.
You might be 3-0, but this is my lane.
But I'm
now.
up 70 gold. Yeah. Yeah, I'm up 70 gold on my laner. I have a Triforce finished. Sub 10 minutes is when he finished it. His cull is almost done.
Yeah.
This is just a really scary gangplank. Wasn't nice. I do want to take a little bit. I don't want to take too much away from Titan Gaming, who did have a nice play there, right? They did get a couple kills. They picked up that early Ocean Dragon, which is going to be nice. It is going to be Cloud Soul, so not going to be as imperative that they can test it as something like an Infernal or an Ocean Soul, but definitely still a solid dragon. I think Cloud is really good in certain compositions, so it's going to be interesting to see which team ends up picking that up. But, you know, Dragon goes over to Titan Gaming, they pick up a kill, lose a couple members, nice farm down there. I'm having a hard time focusing on anything other than Arthur Dent, though, who is farming roughly 10 CS a minute and is, you know, like I said before, 70 farm over his laner.
Absolute
Nocturne
monster
in
right
on
now.
this Zyra.
The Shen ult comes in to give him a little bit of a shield. Does save him.
He's taking quite a bit of damage. Ooh,
Oh, the
Ash Arrow,
flashes.
which goes out of Diana and goes into the slow field, and it looks like Titan's getting picked up. He's going to ult to buy a little bit of time, but it's not going to be enough. Although TG Boom does fall to that Ash. Arthur then kills Acid Step. Bondi's going to fall down to TG Boom, and now just absolute chaos. Nocturne is so low. Shen dies. Set ults onto the two backline carries. Nocturne's still so low, but Arthur Dent falling about a third health. Set gonna do a little bit of damage to the backline, but not enough. Thresh and Nocturne survive. Aphelios still pretty healthy, does burn his flash, like Gangplank is pinging out here. But one of the downsides of full tank Set is that it's not gonna do an absolute ass ton of damage in those fights, like a lot of mid laners traditionally will. So Arthur Dent does quite a bit of damage, but Bondi gets picked off. And ultimately, they don't have enough damage to pull it out. So right now, we see a fairly even game state. Nice couple of trade for both those kills. Very long extended skirmish. Almost doesn't here now. Seeing if he can get anything else. Throws his Q to get two ranged minions with the help of that relic shield.
I really enjoyed the teleport coming in from Arthur Dent on this gangplank, only to secure, as we'll call it, a kill with his Q onto one of the enemy champions. It was very nice.
Yeah.
But we saw another combo coming in from this Nocturne Shen as he goes in and, you know, Shen ults onto him, gave him a shield, actually allows him to survive. And I feel like that's just something we're just going to have to keep watching for throughout this game. Ashe and
100%.
Zyra, super squishy, super easy for Nocturne to just kind of run in and pick up, especially with his spell shield.
Yeah,
Like, it's-
and I think that you hit the nail right in the head, right? Because even though I mean, Glue Eaters has a gold lead and they scale pretty well. Ooh, the Ashe Hour misses, heartbreaking, and so does the Zyra E, and a TP in, and the Nocturne
Shen.
ult here. Nocturne going on to Zyra, forces the flash, but still gets the fear, and that's going to be a dead Zyra, and TG Boom is going to pick up Ashe. So just like you were talking about Ashe and Zyra being pretty squishy, immediately get picked off. You talk about how Nocturne ult is something to keep an eye on, and that Ashe and Zyra are really squishy, and immediately they both die, one of which is the Nocturne ult. So Titan Gaming picked off the 2v2 of Glue Eaters, and takes mid tower. But I agree with you 100%, and that fight was the exact example that you were talking about. Nocturne ult is great, even without Shen ult, but like you were saying, with the Shen ult is huge, right? Ashe and Zyra are super squishy. They do a lot of damage. Yeah, Arthur Dent's going to scale and do a ton of damage, but their mid laner is a tank and their jungler falls off. So the secondary backup damage has to be from the Zyra and this Ashe. But Nocturne Shen is so great at saying, hey, I don't care what's in the front of this fight. I don't care what's on the side of this fight. I'm going to go to the meat. And they go right into the Ashe Zyra. And that's something to keep an eye So Titan Gaming picks up mid tower. They rotate down. They pick up top tower. And right now the gold is basically dead even. And most of the gold on Glue Eaters is on this Gangplank. Yes, that's got a lot of gold. But Arthur Dent has far and away the majority of gold in this game. Yeah, he has 3,000 more gold than Set. And yeah, he's just got so much more gold than anyone.
Oh, Diana flashes forward. Shen ult comes out on her.
What is the cooldown on Nocturne ult? Is it like 45 seconds?
I think it's
like
about...
less?
I think it's 90 seconds at first rank, but he's on second one, so I'm not sure. This is a hectic fight. People are dying left and right. People are not dying left and right. Zyrid comes out with the sliver of health.
Yeah. I thought that was going to go Titans Gaming way. Nocturne ult comes in immediately. Diana has a nice ult, and I was about to praise their wombo, but unfortunately for them, Glue Eaters turns it around. Vizzy gets very low, but does not die. A 2 for 4 to the side of Glue Eaters, and the second Drake pick up that cloud. They now have a nice 2,000 gold lead. And, I mean, they're in the driver's seat, right? They have the pick. They have Ashe. They have Zyra. They have Set, who can even pick people out a little bit. And they have this hugely scaling Gangplank, who is now taken a second side lane tower on his own. So that's pretty scary. On the other hand, Titan Gaming, like we saw before in that fight, you can't count out that Nocturne team. His ult is almost up. His ult just is up again. So they can keep running this play. They basically, every other Nocturne ult, Shen follows him. Ooh, we see an Ashe arrow.
Goes a little wide.
Yeah, goes a little wide. Goes a little wide. But Arthur Dent on the wrong side of this lane with the Diana, who might get an enormous shutdown. Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
So, here's what I'll say to that. Yeah, Gangplank's big, but Diana, who already had 3 kills, and is Acid Steps one of his best champions, and who did carry Titan Gaming to a quarterfinals win on his Diana, has just picked up 550 extra gold from shutting down this Gangplank.
He is currently sitting on 1,500 gold for this next pack that he's going to be going for.
And it looks like he's going to be buying Zanya's second, which is a huge power spike for Diana. Diana, you haven't even seen her final form. She's got her Nashers, great. She can take a tower really quick. She can clear a wave really quick. But once she gets that Zonya's, the wombo potential with her E, with her ult, and her survivability is enormous. So maybe the conversation starts shifting a little bit towards Acid Step.
I mean, it has to shift towards Acid Step. It has to shift towards almost a dozen. What are these? Because, I mean, almost a dozen. 6, 2, 3. Sitting pretty right now. He's backing. He's not backing, actually. But he's got highest gold on his team. I think he's the big carry on Titan Gaming right now. At least for the time being. Until late game approaches and if it shifts over to the Aphelios.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta... So... Yeah, Arthur Dent's huge, but as these team fights continually sort of like chip towards the way of Titan Gaming, the question now becomes, yeah, Arthur Dent's huge on his signature champion, but is it enough? I think now that Diana's gotten that shutdown, now that Almost a Dozen's got a bunch of kills, like you said, now that Aphelios is starting to get those items, like you said, I think this is going to be harder and harder for Arthur Dent to pop off. I think if all the other lanes were even, and then Arthur Dent was huge, this game is different.
Mm-hmm.
But Bondi and Vizzy are combined 0 and 8. And that might not be enough follow-up damage. Arthur Dent, like we joke about the phrase 1v9 quite a bit, but it's actually impossible to 1v9, right? It doesn't matter what champions and what levels and what items, there are 9 people at one person, that one person's gonna die. And Happy Cloud has a bunch of kills. Yeah, but he's full tank. And he's full armor. And this Diana's fed.
Yeah, it is full armor. You're right. And something else. There's not a lot of AP damage on the Glue Eater's side. It's basically just Zyra. And she hasn't even finished her first item yet. She's support. She's not going to be getting any gold. Yeah. She's not going to be going to clear waves.
Yeah. I mean, did Shen get Flamed Horizon to 20 minutes? Yes. Is Shen still going to be able to just stack armor
Yeah, you just all press the R. That's all you got to do.
And it leans into Diana's preferred build, who wants to go Zhonya's second. As a quick side note, I love the I don't know what the gun is called on Aphelios, the red one, the one that heals him.
Mm-hmm.
I love the animation of that gun with Runons. I think it looks
the sights are so nice.
Yeah, it looks cool as hell.
All right.
So
Dragon's coming up in
teams,
25.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say both teams seem to have taken quite a little bit of a breather, but Glue Eaters drops the Rift mid in anticipation of this dragon, like you said, which is spawning in 10 seconds. The Rift, maybe it was timing out. I didn't quite see how much time was left on it, but accomplishes nothing except giving 25 gold and something to do for Titan Gaming.
Yeah, and it looks like Glue Eaters are just gonna maybe trade for Baron. I see a couple pings coming out.
They're going up to it, but they're a little slow, and Titan Gaming picks up a dragon largely for free. I think Glue Eaters maybe just agreed to give it up, and then maybe had this idea to think about
a trick.
This death bush here. I don't know. They might get
make it the thresh.
Very quiet. Oh,
the Leona's praying.
Arthur
She's
has
hoping.
That fantastic
They're just gonna push
emote.
mid. Maybe.
Yeah.
Are they gonna come in from behind?
And they do have. Oh no, they're
coming
getting
in
flanked.
from behind.
This is not the direction. The Ash Arrow hits no one, but the Gangplank is going to slow a bunch, and Set's going to flash in and E through and get some of the carries, but Nocturne's got ult as well.
Oh my gosh. Goodbye, Zyra.
Dead Aphelios, but also
Goodbye,
a dead
Nocturne.
Zyra. And now this fight is absolute chaos. A nice ult from Diana forces a couple of flashes.
Goodbye,
And she
Ash.
is going to. Sonya's out, but it's not going to be enough as Titan picks up a kill.
That's an ace.
Happy Cloud picks up a kill, and that is an ace onto the side of Glue Eaters.
They're going for Baron.
I wish we had breakdowns of damage. Like they wish we had high budget LCS production where we could break down how much damage each player did in that fight. Because I'd be so interested to see how much work Arthur Dent did. Because it didn't seem like he was doing a lot. I was so much focused on the flashier things like Happy Cloud flashing in, like Titan ulting. But with these three people up, it begs the question: how much damage did Arthur Dent really do with that ace? Because I bet it was a lot.
Probably a significant portion. I'd say probably over 50%, considering Zyra fell super early on. Ashe fell, a little bit later, but still pretty early on. And then it was just Set, Rek'Sai, and Gangplank just dishing out all the damage. I thought they were going to lose that. I'm very impressed that they were able to turn that around in their favor.
Yeah.
The Ashe
and it's an
went
interesting...
wide.
Yeah, so interesting comments here, like, how was that fight able to actually work? And I'm going to be completely honest with you, I have no idea, right? I thought Glue Eaters were on the back foot there. They have that death brush because traditionally when you do a death brush, you, feel a little bit on the back foot and you're like, okay, we're going to be kind of cute here. Maybe we just lost an objective. Maybe we're trying to posture for something that we can't really quite take blind right now. And we're just going to try to get a cheeky little kill. And then they get the cheeky kill, and then all of a sudden, all five of them flank their team. Ashe misses her ult entirely, but they still win the fight on the wrong side of the map?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
that's why I wanted to see the damage charts, because someone must have done something insane. Because, maybe Set did a lot more damage than I expected him to do. Maybe Arthur Dent popped the hell off and I didn't notice. But all of a sudden, it seemed like they were on the back foot. And then all of a sudden, they just aced him and took Baron.
Yeah.
And now Glue Eaters are in the driver's seat. A 4K gold lead.
Yeah. I do think that was definitely a fight that really favors Glue Eaters. They really want you to just group up into I'm not going to be able to finish. Yeah, that's a good buy. And you see the Set ulting nothing.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite animation in the game is when Set...
when it's dead already.
Yeah. And you just...
And they're going to finally pick up this mid turret. And that's one of the weaknesses of Titan Gaming's comp, right? You have Aphelios who scales pretty well, but if Shen's not there, or doesn't have ult up, or isn't there in time, it's still fairly easy to pick Aphelios off, right? Thresh offers decent peel, but it's conditional peel, right? Thresh can't peel an Ashe Arrow off you. He can throw a lantern like he did there, but it was with the CC chain that Glue Eaters have between the Ashe, between the Gangplank ult, between the Rek'Sai, knock up, and the Zyra E. What are you gonna do? You can't help that Aphelios. You got hit by the Ashe ult, he just freaking dies. Like, it's over.
Yeah. I mean, I think Aphelios definitely is in dire need of a QSS. Especially like
Oh yeah.
with this Ashe. I mean, Ashe Zyra, they might be behind. Oh, I like this.
Oh, now this.
Oh, I like this. Dragon is coming up in 40 seconds. Someone is going to come in here to ward.
And they see the Diana, so they know it's not going to be a Diana. And when you have these death brushes, you always have to be scared. I mean, they know there's no vision, but you have to be scared about someone seeing this coming and womboing you, right?
Yeah.
All of them grouped so tightly together, even though they're planning for this, if Diana gets an ult, that's the fight.
Again.
Right? That's done. But they see the Diana, so they know they can do that, but they don't go for it. Oh, no, and Nocturne is going to realize that is maybe not the play to make. Aphelios is going to ult, but it's only going to hit the set. The Ashe Arrow is going to clip Thresh, but I think Glue Eaters is going to be happy with picking up the Nocturne and going to this Dragon, because with the jungler dead, this should be a free Dragon for Glue Eaters, which puts them one step closer to Soul. Although I do like what Titan Gaming is doing. They say, all right, you take Dragon, but we're going to try to take something in return. We're going to clear up your top side jungle. They can't really go for that mid tower, but they might be able to get this top tower. They have quite a big wave here.
I don't know if that was worth it. I mean, you trade Dragon for 2 towers and your entire jungle on top side being taken. Okay, maybe not top tower. They didn't
even get those towers.
Okay. Oh, they didn't get mid tower either? Oh, never mind. Absolutely worth it. I take it back. I am so sorry. Please accept my apology, Glue Eaters and Arthur Dent. Oh my gosh. So many words over here in this jungle. I don't even think a Red Sweeper is going to be able to clear all of them.
Yeah.
But.
So, interesting you brought up Vision. Vision isn't something we've really talked about in the last couple of games. Both teams with pretty comparable Vision scores. Nice to see. Nice to see. I would love to see the statistics for Vision between CEO League and Executive League and Economy League, because I bet that would be, like, that and CS are probably the things that, like, are most aggressively different on paper.
I could see that. Yeah, I know for Economy League, about, like, 70 Vision score is about the average from what I've seen playing in it and being in there. I've been checking the Vision scores just because I'm a support player and I'm interested in these games after. I'm seeing like 120, 130 on these supports. So definitely a massive just difference. Massive.
Diana is going to shut down the Zyra, which is going to net an extra 150 gold over to the side of Titan Gaming, but is that 150 gold? Would you rather have an extra 150 gold, or would you rather have a living mid laner instead of a dead support? So, yeah, Assistant picks up Busy, gets a nice little shutdown for himself, but I don't really think that's worth, because Baron's spawning soon, and Glue Eaters would much rather have an alive mid laner than a dead support.
Yeah.
Which is what Titan Gaming has the opposite of right now.
Yeah, the plane
Set does have TP up and is up in 15 seconds. So if they buy enough time, Set is going to
ult
Shen into the backline, but Set's going to flash out. Nocturne is going to ult
here. Nocturne using his ult on the Set.
Set's going to go golden here, live a little bit longer, and so is Titan. The Aphelios ult doesn't really do much, and Nocturne is going to shut down the Rek'Sai, but it looks like Flakpack is going to go down as well. Happy Cloud falling quite low, but staying alive. Although here comes the Diana TP'd in. That's a dead Ashe. That's a dead Set. And now only Arthur Dent and Vizzy are alive, but Vizzy hasn't even gotten to this fight yet, and now it is a 2 for 3 onto the side of Titan Gaming. What are they going to do with this advantage, though? Yes, it's a lot of gold, but where are they going to go with it? They're going to clear some vision around Baron. That's great. I love that. Acid Step here, pressing his advantage, knowing that he's got the hot stuff right now. He's got 3 items. He's got Zonies. He's got Nashers. He's got Rabadons. He can do quite a bit of damage to these team fights, and it's only the support in the top laner left. So Acid Step pushing mid lane now. A great fight for Titan Gaming. A way to get them back into the game. Still down 5,500 gold, but they prevent the Baron. They get a trade in their favor, and anytime you get a trade even or in your favor and you're behind gold, you're happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Baron's still up. Dragon's up in about a minute. We'll probably be seeing teams start to set up around there now. And now I think is the crucial moment. Both teams are sitting somewhat even. There's a gold lead on Glue Eater's side. But I think most of that would fall into the Gangplank and the set. Which is nice.
Gangplank right now has 5,000 gold more than anyone on his team and 4,000 gold more than anyone in the game. So, you know.
Just a lot of gold up there with him. And Nocturne's going in on him.
Ult in with the Shen ult, but is going to fall really, really low immediately. He's kind of squishy right now, and Arthur is dead. So all the gold on the side of Glue Eaters is gone. Ash is going to try to do something, and Happy Cloud is going to ult the set away, but is it going to be enough? And now Aphelios is just free hitting onto them. Shen's going to taunt everyone, but it's not going to be enough. He's going to die, but Aphelios is going to pick up Rek'Sai, is going to pick up Zyra. And with almost a dozen alive and Aphelios still up, they might head right to this Baron. They're pinging out, they're going for it, although Nocturne is low. Diana is low, so it's a little risky for them to start. They do have people still in the mid lane pushing this wave, and that was a fight in the favor of Titan Gaming, who is now starting to pop off with this Aphelios and this Diana. They picked Arthur Dent really early, and they won the fight.
Yeah.
They're going to go for this dragon.
And I think this is what you were saying before, was once Gangplank was gone, Zyra and Ashe, the follow-up damage wasn't really there. They were hitting the people that they were supposed to be hitting, and it just didn't matter.
Yeah, and that's one of the downsides of putting, not that they intentionally did this, but really having all of your eggs in one basket. All of their eggs are in the Gangplank basket, right? They have a bunch of gold on set, but he's a tank. And if Gangplank dies that quickly, I don't care that you're full build at 30 minutes. I don't care that you have 5 completed damage items at 33 minutes. If you're dead, you're dead. And a really nice play from Titan Gaming deads Gangplank.
It's true. Is it normal for Gangplank to not finish his boots until 35 minutes?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea.
It's something I noticed.
I mean, he's got twice as much farm as
there he
Blackpack.
goes.
He's got 5 completed items. There's his boots.
Officially full build.
I think when you're that ahead, you can probably get away with it because he's not really trying to be super mobile. He kind of sets up in his zone and fights. And here is Titan Gaming starting this Baron. The Gangplank ult scares them off, which is reasonable. TG Boom actually falls, about to a third, but he's going to heal up pretty quickly. Here's the thing. Yeah, scared Titan Gaming off Baron, but now Gangplank ult is down, which is a huge team fighting tool for the side of Glue Eaters. So both teams now have a window, right? Titan Gaming knows that Gangplank ult is down, so they have a window to team fight, or like Shen just did, split push, because Gangplank can't use his ult to clear a wave. On the other hand, Glue Eaters know that they have a window where Titan Gaming got a little chunked out and can't do Baron. But they do pull back now that Shen has all this pressure. Gangplank has TP but his bot lane, and now it looks like Titan Gaming is just going to take this Baron. A hook from Thresh onto the Zyra is going to freeze her in her tracks. Happy Cloud's going to walk in, and so is Titan. The Ashe Arrow is going to come in, but this is not enough people on the side of the Glue Eaters, although they don't have a ton of damage. And Titan Gaming gets a kill, is probably going to get a second here. The Gangplank ult already back up, is going to zone off a little bit, but it's not going to matter. Titan Gaming gets 3 kills on the jungler, the mid laner, and the support, and takes the Baron. And even though they're down 1,200 gold, all of a sudden, this game is in their favor. Because all the gold of Glue Eaters is on Arthur Dent, and he wasn't there for that fight.
Yeah, they come out of it. I believe they lose 1. 4 of the members still have Baron. Diana is up top getting that tower. And it's just Gangplank and Ashe for now, for the next 15 seconds.
Yeah. I'm not streaming right now. People are asking for gold difference on the ADCs. I've hit X. TG Boom is up about 5,000 gold on, about 4,500 gold on Bondi right now.
Yes.
And I'm going to be honest with you. Yesterday, during the semifinals, I don't remember who, but someone picked... maybe it was during the quarterfinals. So there was a game where Gangplank was being played. and almost a dozen, who is the jungler for Titan Gaming right now, was talking about how he thought that Gangplank was a little overrated. He thought that, yeah, Gangplank gets a lot of gold, Gangplank can get ahead, is decent in lane, but ultimately, yeah, he has a ton of damage late game, but his barrel, yeah, it chunks you to like half, but so does an ADC crit. He was saying that ADCs, you know, yeah, Gangplank offers some opportunity and utility, but almost a dozen on the wrong side. He's going to ult this Ashe. If he can trade a 1-for-1 right here, that's pretty good, but I think Ashe is going to be able to get out of this. Nocturne's GA is going to be popped. I see no world where he gets out of this, and Happy Cloud gets the kill. But at the same time, Titan Gaming is taking this inhibitor. The Gangplank ult says, hey, I see you. Knock it off. But they don't, and that's an inhibitor over to Titan Gaming. Even though Almost a Dozen gets picked, I will say, Almost a Dozen is dead for 40 seconds. This dragon up in 35 seconds. So Almost a Dozen is going to take quite a bit of time to get down to this dragon. His ult will be up, which is going to be a little bit of a gap closer. But Glue Eaters now has a window where they can set up for this dragon. Both teams on Soul Point. Like I said before, Cloud Drake, not the most hyped Drake. Uh-oh, this could be a pick on the Diana. Diana's going to ult and hit nobody. Bonnie's going to flash out, and this might be a dead asset step. Nocturne's still dead, so this is a 5v4 if they did a full team fight, so they know they can't go and help her, and Diana's dead. This is probably going to be Cloud Soul for Glue Eaters.
And I don't think they're going to complain about that. I mean,
no.
Ashe ult, Gangplank ult, like, both of those are pretty integral to the way they want to play this game.
Even Zyra.
Yeah, even Zyra. I mean, everyone. Except for maybe Rek'Sai, I'm not really sure.
At this point in the game, Rek'Sai ult is just a way to live a little bit longer in team fights and maybe execute a carry.
It just, kind of just throwing something at her and be like, alright, yeah, here, whatever.
So, yeah. Glue Eaters picks up the Cloud Soul. And even with that Cloud Soul, though, this is still anyone's game. I cannot stress to the viewers enough how close this goddamn game is.
Knife's edge.
It is 40 minutes into this game, and the gold lead is 1,300 gold. That is nothing. That is one component for one player somewhere. And I'm going to be honest with you, most of that gold lead is on Arthur Dent, who can't get any stronger. He's level 18, he's full build. Where's he going to go from here? So, a hook from Thresh onto this... Oh my god! Arthur Dent's dead! Titan Gaming has a window here in this team fight. Acid Step also dies, who's where a lot of Titan Gaming's gold is. But with Arthur Dent dead, Glue Eaters have to... And a ton of flashes from Titan Gaming, from the set, from the Aphelios, onto Happy Cloud is... The Thresh Lantern onto the Aphelios. This fight is insane. Aphelios doing so much damage. Aphelios couldn't really tell where he was going. Flashed over the wall, then took the Thresh Lantern, then went forward, but it doesn't matter. Titan Gaming could push to end here. That's 3 members of Glue Eaters dead.
That
3 of them are there. The 3 people who do the most damage to the game right now are dead, and it looks like and a team of flashbacks coming in. This might be the game. The Nocturne ult. Rek'Sai pretty low. Is gonna ult, like I said, to stay alive, but it's not gonna matter. He is dead. Happy Cloud doing his damnedest
lot of damage
to stay alive, but he is dead. Aphelios cleaning up. Zyra's gonna ult to try to buy some time. That's okay.
Gangplank's up in 2. Gangplank's up in 2.
He's gonna ult all of them in. A bunch of them are low. Gangplank's moving forward. Drops the barrel. Shen taunts him. He's gonna orange. This Nexus is so low. Shen autoing it. Can he do it? He does
game.
it.
That's game. Oh
Titan
my
Gaming
God.
2-1 Glue Eaters and is moving on to the finals to play Solar Flare next weekend. An unbelievable upset, defeating the #1 seeded team in CEO. What a game!
Wow, that game 3 did not disappoint. That was fantastic. Okay. Teetered back and forth. It was like a game of ping pong. One person would serve to the other. One team serving to the other one. The other one. Such a beautiful thing to watch. All right, let's look at these graphs.
Titan Gaming. That was a real, genuine upset. Aphelios.
Damn.
200 years of damage coming out in 40 minutes. That was an unreal game. That was an unreal series. I am so happy to have witnessed that, to have watched that. What a best of three.
I
So,
am.
congratulations to Titan Gaming. They move on to the finals of the CEO League next weekend.
All right. I believe we are going to be open for interviews. Correct me if I'm wrong. So
Yeah, if we have, so it's midnight.
it is pretty late.
And it's late. So if I totally understand if people are like, "Ooh, it's a little late for me, a little rich for my blood," but I'm cool sticking around for 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes. If anybody for either one of these teams want to jump in and talk a little about the games, talk a little bit about the matchup, talk a little bit about the future. If you are Titan Gaming. If you are a member of either one of these teams who are interested, jump into the community chat. We will pull you up here, and we'll talk. Again, if you need to go to sleep, it is midnight now.
It's a little late.
So we totally understand. As you guys are sort of sorting yourselves out. And we see Emote, who is a happy cloud on Glue Eaters, who I think we will pull in for our first interview. But before we do that, he can actually join because he is a caster. Hello.
Hey,
What a series.
yeah, that was really close. They played really well. I knew going into this that they were gonna be, after watching them last week, that they were gonna be pretty good. But yeah, they played really well, and we took the drafting risk last game. We didn't want to play against the Shyvana because we were not familiar with it, so we just decided to let them have the Aphelios. We knew they were gonna take it. We thought Ashzyre would be a good pick, and picking this heavy dive comp, and for a while it was effective, but it just unfortunately got out of our control, and we had just a few misplays that really cost us the game, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a heartbreaker for you guys. I'm sure early on in that game, you're all talking, with how fed Arthur got at the beginning of that game. I'm sure it's a little bit of a whiplash to be like, oh, we're up so much on this gangplank, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, it's not working as much as it had been earlier.
Yeah, our soul lanes got really far ahead that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to get as many kills on the tank set. Obviously, it's I'm trying to build tanks, so I itemized for some damage later. But I think, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was in the bag, but their bot lane was far ahead. We knew this guy was really good at Aphelios, so that was always our comms all game. We're okay, look for Aphelios. Do I have flash ship? Does he have flash ship? Can I get on him? And most of the time we were able to find him. He started the game, I think, doing really well, and then we were able to bring it back. But that champ is so absurd. If and we just didn't play around the guns well enough, and it's just it was one of those things even when we were strong, the whole time we were just talking about how afraid we were of Aphelios potentially 200 using us, and looking back on it, we're okay, maybe we should have banned this Aphelios, let them have TF or something. I don't know. There was it was just we didn't want to give him Nidalee, we didn't want to give him TF, and it was between the Aphelios and the Shyvana. Because we know Acid Step's a TF main, but it just, honestly, it might have been worth just giving it to him, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those huge decisions that you have to make that are sometimes, the spur of the moment decisions where you're like, all right, where does our gut tell us to go?
And says some of it was Boom being a good player. I had never said it wasn't him. I just said that champ is also absurd, which is a fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, he played it really well. That's we didn't want to give him the Aphelios because we knew he was good at it. That we
Yeah.
played in the first 2 games.
Oh yeah, that's true. So TJ Boom is the #1 Aphelios in mastery points in North America, I believe. I'm 99% sure that's true. So yeah, I mean, I think that's totally fair to say a part of the champion. There's no, Champion is meme to death, but he pilots it like an unreal god.
Yeah,
so
he played really well. I mean, like we knew, like I said, we knew going into it like this was a risky draft thing.
Yeah.
We called like all the other picks mostly. Like we knew that they were gonna go Graves. We knew he was gonna go Diana. And we had the set counter pick. It's like unplayable, but it just didn't work out. So GG's to them though. They played super well. I don't want to take anything away from them. Like they were popping off. Their support I thought played really well. He like every fight he's like trying his best to keep Boom alive. Like and he did really well. So I want to give shout out to him. But yeah, so GG's sucks. But yeah, they deserve to win. They were better today for sure. So
yeah. Thank you. That is Happy Cloud, mid laner for Glue Eaters. Magnanimous in his analysis. Appreciate it. Moving on quickly to the final interview and the final thing of the night, which is TG Boom. Before we bring TG Boom in, while I still have a bunch of you here, I want to quickly talk a little bit about the league. The low budget LCS, or the LBLCS, as it is often called, is an amateur League of Legends group who have 3 different leagues for different tiers of players. It seems like we have a lot of new viewers. So if you are interested in joining or even just watching, join the Discord. It's free. Watch the YouTube channel. It's free. Donate. It's not free. Subscribe. It's not free. Whatever you want to do, you do it. These were our semifinals this weekend. Next weekend, we have our finals for our Economy League, our Executive League, and our CEO League, which are Saturday and Sunday, which is July 18th and 19th. We also have a game this Tuesday night. We had to move around some scheduling things, so we have the last semifinals game for our Executive League this Tuesday. So if you want to watch that, tune in Tuesday night. I'm not sure what time it starts, but I'd imagine around somewhere between 6 and 8 is fair. But if you want to know the exact time, join our Discord. If anyone has any questions, I'll stick around and chat for a while, but you can also join the Discord. Please, if you're interested, stick around. So our last interview of the night, we are going to bring in TG Boom from Community, who is the #1 Aphelios in North America. Without any further ado, TG Boom. Or just Boom. I assume the TG stands for Titan Gaming.
Yeah, it does.
So,
wait, real quickly, I actually wanted to send Brando in here for the interview, but he doesn't have the role to join voice chat. So if you could give that to him,
what is the name?
It should be Brando, right?
Just Brando?
Wait,
I don't
wait.
see him.
One sec, I'm so sorry.
Alright, well, don't worry, because as we're waiting for this, you can use this time to join our Discord. And you can scroll through our member list of our Discord, like I'm doing right now. Huh, I wonder. Where to go? I'm getting messages. Well, you know. Boy, I cannot get over that series. We're wild. Yeah, #1, pull me back. Oh, okay. Doing it. Bam! Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, so I'll do it. I'll do it.
So, boom. #1 Aphelios in North America. Better than Doublelift. Better than Sven. How does it feel?
So there's
You're going to finals.
It's #1 mastery, so
Yeah, which makes you the best one. That makes you the best.
The most mastered.
Yeah, you are the master.
We're
The
so
#1 master.
We're so hyped to go on to the championship. You have no idea. We definitely thought this was possible. We scrimmed Glue Eaters way earlier in the season, and we thought that we had pretty competitive games. Made a couple roster changes, worked on some things, and we were actually pretty confident going into this. I think the way the series played out, was really good for us. Being able to show them we have this Shyvana pocket pick. We already knew everything that they want to ban. And at this point, going into game 3, you can't ban all of us out. So it was like, choose which way that we're going to try to win. And they gave us the Aphelios. We were able to draft our comp and get going pretty early with one of those fights at mid lane. I think were huge for us early in the game. So we're extremely happy to close this out. But it was
Yeah.
a great series, really fun series. That was the longest game we've ever played in the LBLCS, so I got to give it to them that even down to the last fight, that game is on the edge of a knife.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a close series. All of the games, and that last one in particular, I think was the closest of the 3 games. So what a way to end your weekend, really. And I think you like you said, it could have gone either way. A lot of the ways, or a lot of the games, and 2 of them did go either way, and then the last one went your way. So, do you have any last sort of statements either for Glue Eaters or your finals matchup, which is Solar Flare, a week from now?
Regarding the finals matchup, we're gonna have to do some homework and prepare for that. So
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect yet. But for Glue Eaters, it definitely was a great series. I know that our team actually enjoys them. We enjoy speaking with them. We enjoy playing with them. We always have good games. So this should be a nice rivalry going into future seasons, and we look forward to playing with them again.
Thank you so much, and I love hearing that. Future seasons, very exciting to think about. I love the idea of teams who sort of create these long-form rivalries. So I think our next season, which shameless plug is gonna start in August, look out for Titan Gaming versus Glue Eaters again in the CEO League. But until then, next Sunday is going to be our finals matchup between Titan Gaming, who you saw tonight, and Solar Flare, who played the semifinals last night. And I expect everyone to get super hyped for that. And yeah, Xavier, anything else?
No, none at all. I'm still trying to get over that last game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sweaty. I'm sweating over here.
Yeah, congrats and good luck. I hope it's a competitive and fun game. It's final.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys very much. It was fun.
Thank you for playing and being a part of the league. So before we say goodnight to everyone, again, if you're interested in the Discord, it's below the stream here. If you want to watch any of the VODs of the regular season, and I believe some of the playoff games are up there now, check our YouTube. If you liked what you saw Tuesday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, we got more playoffs for the rest of this split. If you are interested in joining, our next League of Legends split will be starting sometime in August, which we will announce in the Discord as this season comes to a close. But in between this 3rd split and this 4th split of the LBLCS, we will be running a test run of a perhaps Valorant League. And if you are interested in joining our test run of the Valorant League, also feel free to join the Discord. That will be starting immediately upon the end of this split. We still have some slots available for teams, so check that out. Thank you all for watching. Xavier, any goodbyes you'd like to make? I toss it over to you.
I fumbly catch and wish you all a good night. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.